Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as the children say in the streets, what it flippin' do, baby. I'm trying not to curse, by the way. I was reprimanded, and after I got reprimanded, I threatened another sabbatical. So that's gonna be my new go-to now. So every time I get yelled at or in trouble, I'm gonna threaten to go to sabbatical. If my fiance ever tells me to clean the kitchen ever again, I'm going on a sabbatical. So if you don't see a boy for 2 days, just assume either I got yelled at or my girl told me to clean. I am joined this morning by Jay, Greg, and Dustin. Jay, how you feeling today, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing well. It's good to see Stat Guy. It's good to have my internet back. I tell you, it was rough. It was rough on Friday. Everything just went black. It's like I went straight up off the grid within like 3 seconds, and I didn't know what to do with myself. I literally sat on my couch because my TV is run through my internet, and I looked at a blank screen because they said he'll be here from between 1 and 3, and it's 11 o'clock, and I don't know what to do with myself. So it's good to be back in reality. It's good to be back in life, and it's good to be able to see this awesome NCAA college weekend, which we will talk about. It's amazing. Greg, he has come to fruition. He has come to the understanding that he is a Dallas fan, even if it is by technicality, and I freaking love it. Welcome to the clan.
Speaking of which, Greg, how are you feeling? And better, and even more, that revelation that you were actually an undercover Dallas fan. Right, tell, how does all that feel? How are you taking it in?
I'm fine. I knew that the Chiefs were once the Dallas Texans, but they had to get the heck out of Dallas to win championships. So that says something right there. But I am feeling good. College basketball was awesome this past weekend. I hope that my Dukies can win it all for Coach K in his last year. We shall see. Hopefully,
yes,
we get to the Final Four. So I am excited for March Madness coming up. It's gonna be fun.
Dustin, how you feeling, my guy?
Can you hear the mic okay?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm waiting to head back down to Oshkosh for the Division III selection show today to see if the college that I cover gets the number 1 overall seed, which would be the first time in their program history that they got that.
Bad.
Awesome. Good.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So let me just get a couple things off of my heart. First and foremost, big screen. Congratulations to that boy, Greg. He is having a son. You're not getting away from him, my guy. I'm putting you on the spot. You see, Greg thought he could put it on Facebook, and he thought it was going to be hush-hush. He thought it was going to be quiet. He thought people was like, nope, I'm throwing your business out there, Greg. Congratulations, my guy. I am very happy for you and your significant other.
Thank you.
When you're able to grow your family, it's something great. Rob, this ain't about you. This ain't about you, Rob. All right.
Hey, you know what's funny though?
Thank you.
It is great that Greg is having a baby. By the way, Greg, congratulations!
Thank you, Jay.
I want you to know that beautiful, young, youthful, vibrant exterior that we see right now, in about 15 years after you've gone through the growing pains of a child, is going to dramatically be gone.
But here's the thing: even though you're going to be stressed out, Greg, we welcome that.
Oh, and if it's a girl, oh my God! If you have a girl, oh my Lord!
I was happy that it was a boy.
Yeah. Really screw you over.
Greg, if you see some random Dallas Cowboy stuff show up in the mail, it did not come from Jay. Remember that.
All right.
Greg's having a baby.
Yeah, you're having a boy.
Yes, having a boy.
Congratulations, my boy.
Yo, Rob, Greg, Rob. Greg thought
a future little Chiefs fan.
Yes,
bro.
Yes, definitely.
Matter of fact, nah. I hope my ultimate. This is the best way you could disrespect Greg. I hope your son prefers Tom Brady over Patrick Mahomes.
Oh no.
That is.
He's never gonna do that. He's never gonna do that. He will understand how great Tom Brady was, but he will have his own GOAT to look up to.
Yo, I'm telling you right now,
Greg is about to hit you with that line. Don't you wish that on me, Ricky Bobby?
Oh man! And one more thing I wanted to touch on. Obviously we know what's popping off in the Ukraine. This is how we know dudes is different breeds. So we got the Klitschko brothers, all right, who are boxers. We got Vasily Lomachenko and Alexander Usyk. These are boxers, and I think it's I think he's the mayor of the capital. But these dudes is actually going back and they getting kitted up. I'm gonna say this one more time. Lomachenko is in what you can consider the prime of his career. And my guy's like, I don't care. You can say the same thing about Usyk. You got two dudes in the prime of their career, two legends. One of them, I think Vladimir, I think he's like 50 years old. And my guy, straight up, I do not care. This right here is like the Mirko Cro Cop of boxing. If y'all don't know who Mirko Cro Cop is, he used to be an MMA fighter. The dude was, I think he was the head of a counter-terrorist squad. This man, before he even stepped in any type of ring, octagon, whatever you want to call it, my dude done clap fools.
Alexander, you gotta remember that's a cultural thing,
bro. I don't know what it is, but I need it.
That's a cultural thing. Like if you look at most countries, like military is big. You know what I mean? It's different from America. Like America gives you kind of a choice if you want to join the military. Like in these other countries, it's kind of like the Sparta thing. It's like, and these cats been training since they were young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, and that's I kind of put a meme on there one time that said it talked about like, you know, when you see the military of foreign countries. I had the opportunity to go to Poland and we did a joint NATO exercise, and I worked with the Polish, Romanians, Bosnians, and a couple other countries. And these guys, let me tell you something, man. These dudes ain't no joke. They ain't no legit. Let me tell you something. You will not see anybody from the military of these countries on TikTok. Won't see it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is a beautiful thing about the United States of America and freedom of everything that we enjoy. You can find a soldier on TikTok 24/7. All you got to do is type it in. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying.
Jay, thank you.
Hey, I'm just saying. Hey, listen. Hey, these cats don't play, man. Huh?
Hey, Jay said, don't thank him like so. Thank you for the uncomfortable nights sleeping in the cold out there protecting our freedoms. I was listening to you, brother.
No, it is. No, don't get it twisted. Hey, look, don't get what I'm saying twisted. Don't get it twisted.
Yes, sir.
No, don't get it twisted. Because you still got to go do the job. And even though they're on TikTok, it's usually the ones on TikTok that are back in the mainland chilling in the barracks, doing their TikTok. That's what I'm talking about. There's two sides of the military. You got combat related and you got non-combat related. And the ones that are on TikTok, 9 times out of 10 are the ones that are non-combat related, that are just chilling out in the barracks. And then you got the ones that get sent, like the 8,500 that just came out of Stuart not even a week ago, that are heading to Bosnia, they're actually heading to Poland, and they're going to be the ones in the tents, and those won't be the ones making TikTok. What I'm saying is this. The countries that are foreign, like Poland, Romania, Russia, all these other guys that are overseas, these, like you said, Greg, their situations are different. Everything about it is different. But we have freedoms. We have freedoms in America, and it's a beautiful thing because our freedoms, we're a little bit more relaxed society. Let's be honest. America is a lot more relaxed society than a lot of other foreign countries. It just is. It is. But I will say this. But I will say this. Listen, I will say, hey,
Jay, I promise I'm not laughing at you.
I promise. What I'm saying is, but hey, look, there's a time when you flip a script in America. When you're in the barracks, you do barracks-like things. You just do. But when you flip the script and you go across the pond and now you're in a tent, you do flip a script, and it is a different military state of mind because now you're not in the barracks. Now you're out here, and my brother's got my back. This, that, the other, and the situation changes. So don't get just because I'm saying somebody's on TikTok. Don't take it the wrong way.
No. We were just thanking you for your postal service. Yeah, Jay. That's how we were doing.
Yeah, Jay. Well,
Jay gets something wrong sometimes.
Rob, we drop Jay right now in Russia, and Vladimir Putin will be shaking in his boots, bro. Jay, our resident John Wick, bro. That's what.
Hey, I can see Jay now. He gonna be like, hold on, I want to ask you a question. Let me ask you something.
But here's real quick, because I don't want you to think I was laughing at you, Jay. Dustin had the nerve to send me a picture.
Jay got the same picture.
Dustin, put it in the group chat.
Jay got
and it was, I think it was Tom Brady, JJ Watt, Gardner Minshew, and who was the fourth one?
Dak Prescott.
And
Jay got the same picture.
And it was, oh my God, just send it in the group chat whenever you can, bro. Them looking fat, it looks hilarious. Especially Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is hilarious. I almost didn't recognize JJ Watt. Almost. I was
this man, this Gardner Minshew looked like a porn star. I just feel like I should see him.
Go check the group chat, Jay.
I want to be like.
Oh, okay. I'll have to go look at the group chat.
To your phone. I sent it to your phone too, by the way.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. But yeah.
Hell yes.
Yeah. That's why I was laughing. That's why I was laughing. I look down and I see that. I'm like, oh God. But
let me ask you this though. Let me ask you guys this. Is it just me? Let me ask you this. I'm looking at all four of these guys, right? You got Brady, you got Minshew, you got Dak, you got JJ. Why is it that even though this is a picture of bloated athletes, why does Tom still look like he's in the best shape over everybody else? Even in the bloated picture.
I'm gonna tell you why. And from now on,
who JJ Watt looks like in that picture, really?
Who?
Charlie Weiss.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He looks like an angry version of Charlie Weiss.
Yeah, he does.
You can go away then. Go to your mom. Listen, I'm going to tell you why, Jay. Because when you're a guy like Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Brady, Jr., perfection is just natural. Just being the best at everything. It's just natural.
Preach.
That's just what it is. It's like being LeBron James. Just when you're that great.
All right.
Rob, I wasn't talking to you, Rob. I'm talking to Jay. See, this is the one time where hell's starting to freeze over. Because I said LeBron's the GOAT, and Jay's still hearing me out. He's like, I disagree, but I'll let you have your moment. And you always got to interject. Let me have my moment.
Well, you just tried to slide that in there. You tried to slide that in there.
I ain't slide it in there, bro. I said, I ain't throwing no 83-mile-per-hour slider. Nah, bro. I'm Aroldis Chapman throwing a $120 straight down the middle. Bro.
Hey, did y'all know this? Did y'all see that picture? Speaking of pitching, though, did you see the picture out of Tennessee? And I forget who put it up there, but 103 mile an hour fastball. After Tommy John, was that you, Dustin, that put that up?
Yep.
The only thing that concerns me is,
and that's Tommy John surgery.
I don't remember his name, but his command is sometimes a little wonky. But I mean, that's how I really get when you throwing.
See, that's the scary part, though. When you throw that hard, you don't even need to have the greatest command. You just have to be close. Because if you're close, people are going to swing at it, and you're going to miss it anyway.
Yeah, not yet. I'm not saying. Listen, he knows he doesn't need in terms of like command. He doesn't need to be Mariano Rivera now. Now he doesn't have to, but it's just he reminds me a lot of Aroldis Chapman, where it's like you got the speed. But at the same time, like your command is too inconsistent for you to be brave enough to be throwing 102, 103. Like that's kind of that's really my only concern. Like, and again, he doesn't have to your point, Dustin, he doesn't have to have the best command, but you just need to have it enough where like if you're throwing, if you're throwing in the bottom corner, even if you're not painting the even if you're not painting the zone, as long as you're in the vicinity, fine. I ain't gonna say nothing. You know what I mean? But if you're lined up inside and all of a sudden the catcher's like he's gotta jump outside to go get the ball. You know what I mean? But to each their own. But speaking of college, by the way, Jay, because you said when you get into the barracks that you got to flip the script. Is that script happen to be unscripted? The show that you have, shameless.
I like the segue.
Thank you. Thank you.
That boy
But,
Brian Cole.
No, but for real though, man. Hey, listen, and Tross was there. Philip Tross, he's also a part of the ASAP network. Me and this dude, we go way back. And I remember, and I will tell you, man, me and him would sit there on the other side of Poland, and we're sitting there looking across the Ukraine border. And I'm telling you, Pride, it was raining, man. When I say raining, it was like a damn torrential downpour. And the damn water is coming in the tent, and it's like 20 degrees outside. I have never in my life, and I've been to Afghanistan, I've been to a lot of different craziness. And I'm just talking about the temperature and the humidity and the craziness of it all. That was deplorable. It was rough, bro. It took everything I had in this 48-year-old body.
Woo. Jesus. That'd be crazy. But
I'm telling you, man. Hey, listen, you just don't know, man. Till you've been in that one-man tent, boy. And that's why I say, hey, remember these soldiers that are out there, man, because they're doing it right now, man. And I appreciate each and every one of them. I really do.
100%. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. But in college basketball, the top 6 and the AP poll, bro, they all lost in the same day. Number 1, Gonzaga fell to ranked number 23, St. Mary's, 67-57. Number 2, Arizona lost to unranked Colorado, 79-63. Number 3, Auburn dropped a close game to number 17, Tennessee, 67-62. Purdue dropped another close one, who's ranked number 4, to Michigan State, 68-65. Kansas suffered a double-digit loss to Baylor, 80-70. And number 6, Kentucky lost a nail-biter to number 18, Arkansas, 75-73. Now, again, I haven't been watching NCAA for 30, 40 years now, so I had to double check to make sure. But I never in my life remember anything past top 4 ever losing on the same day.
First time ever.
I went and looked it up, and turns out this is the first time that the top 6 lost all on the same day.
And 7 of the top 10, I think number 8 or number 9 also lost too.
Yeah.
Hey, can we just say though, out of the top 6, that the Gonzaga one was the most surprising?
Not really. The Colorado over Arizona.
Really?
Colorado over Arizona.
I was about to say, I think there's two more. There's 2 of them
Colorado
more
like came, they blew them.
I think.
out. Like,
Yeah.
I think the
St.
Colorado one was wild. You know what else I thought was wild? Baylor. And I get their 10. I get their 10. But the thing is, and maybe it's just me, 80-70. If you watch that game was not as close as the score told you. Bro.
No, Kansas historically struggles at Baylor though, so that's not really as shocking as Colorado winning just the second time ever over a top 3 team, with their last one coming in 1992.
Well, that's true now.
Not to mention, I heard Baylor. I think I heard somewhere that Baylor has beaten like top qualified teams. Like they're like up there. Like so.
Like St.
It's
Mary's.
no surprise Baylor did it.
St. Mary's always finds a way to beat Gonzaga because that's the only team in Gonzaga's conference that is actually respectable enough to compete with Gonzaga. So that game is not necessarily a surprise. Michigan State is still Michigan State, unranked or not. They're still a tough out, no matter who they play against, especially at the Izzo Dome. Nobody can come in there and just take them down, so that game wasn't surprising. Who else was there? Tennessee is a good team, so that win over Auburn doesn't surprise anyone. Arkansas is a good team. Playing on the road against the ranked opponent is never easy. It's the Colorado game, though. It's not the fact that they beat Arizona. It's the fact that Arizona had no chance in that game. And I think that's the biggest surprise because Arizona is number 2 in the country, and realistically, a lot of people feel they should be number 1 in the country over Gonzaga when you look at the schedule that Arizona plays compared to what Gonzaga plays. And then Colorado, a team that was on the bubble for the NCAA tournament, probably just popped that bubble with how they handled Arizona.
Yeah, they handled Arizona. Not to mention, though, is it me or Kentucky has kind of lost a little bit of his flair?
A lot.
They lost that flair to me because I remember when like a lot of top ranked players in high school want to go play for that organization, for that college, and it seems to me now it's not the case anymore. They're not getting the top guys. Maybe I could be wrong. I'm like Pride. I'm not really into college basketball. I used to be. I think I kind of stopped when AD left, but
Oh no.
You're not bugging, Rob. But the sad part about it is I don't think it's anything that they're doing wrong. I just think we're entering a kind of I don't want to say era or generation, but we're entering a wave where now it's not really two big name schools anymore.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of entering a wave where like you're like these recruits are not only are they considering low, well, I don't want to say low tier, but the big name schools. Like, think about it, guys are considered going to Murray State.
Mhm.
Like that's like they're actually listening to the pitch. Like,
Yeah.
but like let's say 5 years ago, maybe no one's listening to that pitch at all. You know what I mean? Like now all of a sudden, and Mike has a very interesting point. When your main premise is one and done, that kind of is a solid point, because if you really think about it, imagine if one of the kids, right, a solid, 3.5, 4-star recruit shows up and he goes, well, if I have a bad year, where do I go from here? Like if I want to have the option to stay, what do I do? And I think that's really kind of the situation where they are. And on top of that, you got Gonzaga, again, handling their business. I don't know about you guys, but Auburn was considered to be a top program.
We were the number one spot there for a little bit.
Right. So it's like, if you really look at it, like of the top 25, there's like what, at least 15? Like 15 schools that can make a pitch to a 4-star, 5-star recruit, and they will actually sit down and listen. 5 years ago, that wasn't the case. 5 years ago, you had to be top 5 just for these recruits to even consider even picking up the phone for you. Either that or you had to have a big name, coaching like Coach K or John Calipari or something like that. But now it's like this new wave, and Dustin, maybe you're looking at it different, but the way I look at it, I just think it's this new wave. There's now more legitimate options, and this new wave of talent understands that. So now they're willing to say, hold on, why am I going to go to a big name school when in all actuality, another name that, sure, it's not as big, but it's still big, like Gonzaga. It's still big, or Syracuse. It's still big. I still get some of those perks. And guess what? I don't have to fight 5, 6 other guys to make my stats look good.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question. Hey, quick question. So now that Coach K is going to leave Duke to retire, I guess, and this is to your point, how far does Duke fall off now that Coach K is retiring?
Honestly, not far at all, because they have the top recruiting class coming in for next year.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm just saying, like, now that he's not there, though, after this class, will the recruiting slow down because Coach K is not there?
No, because John Shire, who's actually supposed to be replacing Coach K, has been in charge of recruiting the last 5 years.
Okay.
So he's the main reason why Duke gets a lot of these pieces, because John Shire is the one that actually goes to the players' houses. Coach K is more the one that goes to like their games, scouts them at their games, and kind of brings like their film back to the university, shows like the rest of his coaching staff that. Mm-hmm. Then John Shire is the one that goes out to their houses, meets with their family, and kind of pitches the idea of them coming to Duke. So John Shire's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting for Coach K for a while now, because Coach K's been molding John Shire to replace him for the last 5 years.
But here's the question, and I'm gonna pose it to all you guys. And if I'm coming out of left field, let me know. Is it really John Shire, or is it just he's going in? Because we got to remember, just you being able to say, "Oh yeah, if you come with me, guess who you're gonna end up meeting? Coach K." Like, and I'm gonna let you start off with it, Dustin. Then I'm gonna go around. But don't you think that kind of plays a major factor? Like, or do you just think it's just that it doesn't matter who the head coach is?
It doesn't matter who the head coach is at this point, because John Shire played under Coach K. He won a national title in 2010 with Kyle Singler, with Nolan Smith, with Brian Zubac, and all those people in 2010. So just because Coach K is going to be gone, John Shire still knows what Coach K did as a head coach. He still knows what that program needs to do to be successful. So everybody that John Shire is recruiting this year and basically beyond at this point, he's already telling them that Coach K is not going to be around. Coach K is no longer going to be part of that.
That was really the premise behind my question. Was I thought maybe like Shire was using Coach K as the bait to go there.
Nope, because he's basically said that after this year, Coach K is not going to be involved with Duke. He's going to be involved with like the NCAA in some level, whether it's the selection committee for March Madness or like something else. He's still going to be involved in like college athletics, but he's like completely getting away from Duke. So everyone that Shire recruits from here on out, it's my team now. You're not going to have Coach K here. You're not going to have him to rely on. You're coming here to buy into what I've learned from Coach K, to buy into what I've learned as a coach, what I've learned as a player, and like what I know about the history of the program. And so far, so good, because John Shire is 10-2 or 10-1 in the 11 games that he's filled in for Coach K the last 2 years. He's got the number one recruiting class coming in for next year. Plus, he just signed the number one overall recruit for the class of 2024. So John Shire is doing what he needs to do on the recruiting side of things. It's just a matter of what does he do in terms of his assistant coaches? Does he keep who Coach K is already established as assistant coaches? Does he bring on somebody else? That's going to be, I think, the key to him, because he might have learned the last 5 years under Coach K, but I still think he needs a reliable assistant that's had head coaching experience at the NCAA level, because once he takes over as the head coach, he's not going to be able to put as much recruiting time in as he has the past 5 years, because he needs to worry about everything else at the university. He needs to worry about getting the practices set up. He needs to worry about the off-season workouts and being on campus for those off-season workouts. So he needs to find like that assistant that's basically doing what he's been doing the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, which is true, because at the beginning of next season, yeah, to your point, Dustin, he's officially the head coach. So, you know, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he already found his replacement. You know,
I think his replacement's on the staff right now. I think it's Nolan Smith, who played with him in 2010.
If I'm not mistaken, him and Nolan Smith, they already have a very close connection. Not connection, but close relationship where, you know, in terms of recruiting, I remember reading something, I think it was like 2 years ago, that in terms of recruiting, Nolan Smith was actually kind of there with Mr. Shire. So that way, I don't know if he was showing him, you know, the ins and outs of it. I don't know if he was just like, oh yeah, I'm bored, come on over, or something.
Well, Nolan Smith was kind of with Shire because he played in the NBA for 4 years. So like Smith kind of went with Shire, basically saying, you don't have to be a top 10 player in the country to make it to the NBA under Coach K. I was a 2-star recruit who didn't even start my first 2 years at Duke. Started my last 2 years at Duke. We ended up winning a national title. And because of the growth and development I had in my 4 years under Coach K, I ended up being in the NBA for 4 years until I got hurt. So like he kind of used that as, just because you're not a top prospect or just because you're not like a big 4 or 5-star recruit doesn't mean you can't make it to the NBA under the Duke system as long as you're coached by the right mind.
And I know the regular season's not over with, but let's give Coach K his flowers, man. I mean, 5 national championships, a record of 1,170 to 361. What he's done for USA basketball. I mean, the guy is a genius, man. So Coach K deserves to enjoy his retirement and the rest of the days of his life, because the man has definitely put on for basketball. Shout out Coach K.
Nah, you when it comes to Coach K, and I think he's the best college head coach in the history of the NCAA.
He is, because he's had to. He is because he's had to adapt to the college basketball landscape.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
if you remember when he won his first 4 national titles, so I think it was like 91, 92, and then 99, 2001, and then 2010 even. The first 4 that he won, it was basically built with a team of 3 and 4 year starters, where the first year they would be above 500, but they wouldn't make it very deep just because they would lose like 10 or 11 games. But then every year they would gradually improve until they got to like their junior and senior year, and then they just ripped off like 30-win seasons, did the whole thing. Yeah. But then you look at their 2015 national championship, it was all built on freshmen. Yeah. So once that landscape started to change, where you had the one and done rule as opposed to just being able to leave out of high school, Coach K was willing to kind of give up those teams built off of the 4-year starters and just be like, this is what we need to do to compete now. We need to try to get as many top prospects in here as we can for 1 year, do what we can with them, unload them, and basically recycle the whole system. So he was able to adapt to how college basketball changed, where outside of maybe Bill Self and John Calipari, who do the same thing, there hasn't been too many coaches that have been able to adapt to this whole one-and-done system just because they're not used to keeping guys for 1 year. They're used to keeping them for 3 or 4 years and building a program over a 3-year course as opposed to a 1-year course.
And again, that's kind of, you know, one of the things I was gonna say, because again, this is a dude who, like, obviously coaching for over 40 years.
44.
A long time. Plus the Olympics.
40,
too.
40,
Yeah, I was about, yeah, like, again, he's got what, 9 gold medals?
44
yeah, this
years
is 42nd.
44 years of coaching, 41 years at Duke.
Yeah,
And then also his Olympic. Don't look at his. I mean, he's got an Olympic resume that's crazy.
It's wild.
No.
and
it's
you got to
complete.
think about that because the Olympic team ain't nothing but a big all-star team.
To
Exactly.
be honest.
And that's why
That's
they-
a
that's
lot
why
of
they-
egos to coach.
That's why they
Maintain.
wanted Coach K to coach Team USA, because it was basically following the whole one and done thing. You have a team built on basically NBA All-Stars that
Yeah.
the top level of competition in the world. With the
Imagine
By the
telling
way,
Carmelo
one duel.
Anthony back then. Now, I'm not talking about Melo now. I'm
No,
talking about
Anthony
Melo
back
when
then.
he was in his prime scoring, saying, I need you to be my sixth man.
Yeah.
And Melo saying, all right, coach, let's ride.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You know, telling Kobe, hey, tonight, don't take 20 shots. Like that's a lot to tell somebody, you know, especially with
No,
that
it's not.
caliber and they looking at you like,
No, it's
dude, you
not.
ain't nothing but you ain't nothing
Can we-
No, it's not.
Can
No,
we
I'm gonna tell
ban
you
this
why.
guy from commenting forever for the rest
No,
of
no,
his
no, no.
life?
I don't think he's trolling. Hold on.
and Dustin meant that with all
Trolling?
disrespect.
With all
my
disrespect.
God.
I think this is an actual question. I don't think he's trying to troll.
What did he
Because
say?
Coach K doesn't want to coach in the NBA. He
Yeah,
never
exactly. I was
has.
about to say, because he
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
asked, why, how come Coach K, if he's so great, why he's like, since he's one of the best of all time, why has he never coached in the NBA or WNBA?
Because he's
He's been
making
on
$7
record-
million
he
at
has
Duke.
what he-
and
he
he's
has
a
what he
man.
has.
Well, it's not only the money. He's been on record saying, yeah, I'm good. Like, I don't want
No, he has coached in the NBA, but he hasn't. Coaching Team USA is coaching in the NBA.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the biggest difference with coaching Team USA and coaching in the NBA, he was allowed to do it his way with Team USA.
Yep.
He was allowed to build that program basically like a college program where it's like, I have 15 of the greatest players in the world. So we'll just use recruits, for example.
Yep.
15 of the greatest recruits in the world who would start for any other team that they would go to. Now I just got to define their roles where, like you said, Carmelo Anthony, you would start for every other college team out here. But with me, I need you to be the sixth man because Kevin Durant is better than you at the same position. So we need him to be here. We need you to be here.
Yes,
Versus if he would have tried to coach in the NBA, he would have had an owner. He would have had a GM trying to tell him how to do specific things.
Yeah.
The owner and the GM would be the one signing the players for him, and he would basically have to work with what is given to him. So he could have ended up going to one of the worst franchises and had absolute crap for a roster. And if his record would have been like 500, everyone would have been like, "Oh, he can't cut it in the NBA." Well, you gave him a crappy roster to work with, so what's he supposed to do? Versus in college and with Team USA, he got to pick the roster in Team USA. He gets to recruit who he wants to recruit, and he gets to build the roster that he builds at Duke.
That's why he has 6 gold medals, baby.
He was doing things his way in college, and he was doing things his way in the with Team USA. Going to the NBA, he knows he would not have been allowed to do things his way. And why would you want to put I mean, his legacy is his legacy. Obviously, if he goes to the NBA and he fails, his legacy is still going to be what it is.
Right.
But why do you want to go to the NBA and then risk having a losing record like John Calipari has, and risk having a losing record like Rick Pitino had when Rick Pitino went to the NBA?
Yeah.
And kind of having that little stain on your legacy saying, well, you might be a great college coach, but you're not a good NBA coach.
Not to mention, I think Coach K likes the development of the young talent, you know,
right?
To be able to leave that lasting imprint. Just not to say I'm the main reason you made it to the NBA, but when you got to me, I took a young talent and I honed it. I nurtured.
Let's be honest. Hey, and to Robert's point of view, let's be honest. Coach K, he's got his niche. He's got his place in life, and he knows that Duke is just who he is, and he loves it, like you said, the developmental side. But I don't think Coach K needs to go to the NBA because to prove that he can handle an NBA team. Because to y'all's point, he was managing all the top egos in the Olympics and made it work. So I think it tells you that he can make it in the NBA realm and do just fine.
And
not to mention, NBA players will respect him.
Yep. And there's a reason why. There's a reason why all his former players that left early, like whether they left after their freshman season or left after their sophomore season, there's a reason why they always go back to Duke during the summer. There's a reason why they always go back to Duke to train during the summer, because every player that's ever left Coach K before like graduating has said as much information as they've gotten their time at Duke, they know there's so much more information that he can give them. So they always go back during the summer to practice with Coach K, to practice with the new prospects coming in, because they can give the knowledge they've received from Coach K to the prospects. But then yet they're taking more information that they may have not gotten before from Coach K back to the next season in the NBA.
It comes down to what Migos always talk about. Coach K created culture.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And another thing, like, and another thing to kind of say why he just stayed over on in college, we killed John Calipari, and we don't consider him an all-time great in college. Like a lot of people do, because of what happened to him in the NBA. Like what happened with him with the Nets was horrible. It should not factor into his collegiate coaching career, but it does.
And I think the biggest difference was when Calipari tried it, they didn't have the one and done yet in college. So he went from basically spending 4 years building a program in college where it was acceptable to struggle for a couple of years so you could get that program to be what you wanted it to be. The moment you go to the NBA, you're expected to win right away. You don't. You're not given that opportunity to be like, it takes me 3 or 4 years to build a program in college. They expect you to come in and maybe struggle the first year. They're expecting you to win year 2, year 3, year 4, and beyond.
Which I think it's completely unrealistic. But
I think that's what affected him. Now that Calipari has like that one and done processing in the college world right now, if he went back to the NBA, I think he'd be a lot better now, just because he knows how to build a team quicker now because of that one and done talent.
And by the way, I am renaming Stat Guy to now his new name will be called Cerebro. I'm just putting it out there. Cerebro is your new name.
That's funny.
And plus, when Calipari went and tried the NBA that first time, he went in during the Jordan era. So so you're trying to win. You're trying to establish yourself in the NBA as a first time coach during the Jordan era. That's not really the time to do it. So and to Greg's point, it's true. It's not like the Celtics one. It's not like the Lakers one. It's not like the Pistons one. My bad. I'm talking too much. My bad. Pride's doing too much. We're gonna move on to the next topic because I don't want to get yelled at.
Oh, Pride.
What do you want? Nah, bro. I'm chilling. All right. So James Harden in Philly, he's been looking pretty good.
He's been looking great. Let's not sugarcoat it.
I'm scared to say great because we gotta remember every time we say great, something happens. But I'm worried.
Is it a stretch to say the team has looked great?
That word, but I'm scared to say it because once we say it, all of a sudden his hammy goes out, or he gets fat,
to say the Sixers
or he's not happy, or it's traffic.
Wait, who'd you say?
James Harden.
Oh yeah.
So you don't want to say he's looked great, but is it a stretch to say the Sixers have looked great since he came?
Philly looked good.
If we're gonna be honest, if we're gonna be not only him, top to bottom, Philly has looked pretty. Again, I don't want to say I don't want to say the other G word because every time we say what Philly do, it always happens.
But you know what's amazing though? Honestly though, he's playing so good. I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I gave Harden conditioning crap all year. I've been saying how bad, but man, he came. Well, he's been shelled up for a hot minute. Comes off, has 2 really amazing games. His second game off is a triple double. I mean, golly. Okay, Harden, I see you.
Hey, he took off that bodysuit because I'm like, where did all his weight go? James Harden look rather slimmer, don't he?
Yo,
What
I
it-
think it was his second day of practice. He
Well, I
looked,
think
he
it's
looked
a- I
better
think
than
it's
he
what a
did.
lot of
Hey,
people said last
you
week.
think Harden went to the plastic surgeon and had lipo done? I think he had some lipo done
Oh
personally.
God.
No,
He
I
had
think it's
to,
like I
bro.
think it's what a lot of people said last week, and as I mean, I don't see how this is possible, but it is. Harden wants to be viewed as the man. He does. When he was the man in Houston, he was playing the best level of basketball he has ever played, hands down. When he was in Oklahoma City, he was the third option, and he was basically a sixth man for most of his tenure with Oklahoma City, besides his last year, and he was playing consistent, but he was never playing like the way he did when he got to Houston.
Yeah.
He goes from Houston to Brooklyn. He was often considered the third option in Brooklyn behind Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. And for whatever reason, being that third option just doesn't sit well with Harden. He knows he's better than a third option, and I think he always has that mindset that no matter where he goes, he needs to be that like top option. Granted, Joel Embiid is still going to be that top option in Philly, but going to Philly allows Harden to kind of play the way he did in Houston, where he's that top option.
Hey, I got a question. Okay, I got a question for you guys. Hey, let me ask you this: we've been talking about MVP for a hot minute now. We've been talking about Embiid versus Jokic versus Giannis versus everybody else, and the big thing we've been saying is Giannis has, pretty much carried that team on his back. This, that, and the other. Now that Harden is there, does it change the narrative of now he's not carrying the team anymore because he's got Harden there, and Harden's going to eat into a lot of that notoriety, especially if he starts to become more of the man, like Dustin is saying. Now that means, is he going to start taking some of the shine away from Embiid, and maybe Jokic or Giannis starts to peeking through, because now you're going to say, well, Harden's got or Embiid has Harden and all this, and look what Jokic had. I mean,
Yes and no. And obviously, when you have a guy like James Harden, obviously Joel Embiid is going to lose his touches. However, if Joel Embiid, let's say his drop off is like 1.5 points, and like because his boards are going to be the same. He's never been an assist guy, so it's not like, you know what I mean. But let's say we cut off a point and an assist. If he does that, still efficient, still can play, and they're a top 2 seed, I don't think it'll matter.
Yeah.
Because again, he's played half the season by himself.
You
know what I mean?
And I get that.
But not to mention too, though.
But here's
James Harden came in and said, "My priority is to get the big man going first." James Harden know he can get his buckets at any time.
I don't think so. But
he wants to
keep. He said the same thing about Brooklyn.
But he wants to keep
happy. But I guess the only part of the narrative
is be happy.
The 2 games that they've had, Embiid has been the leading scorer. Embiid has been the focus of the offense.
Okay, but Rob, in the beginning of Brooklyn, him and KD looked fine. It only came a year after, where all of a sudden the reports came that James Harden wanted more ISO balls, and he was always getting butthurt and deep in his light skin feelings every single time they try to run normal plays.
Well, that's because even though Kyrie wasn't there, Kyrie was there, and that always loomed over James Harden. That okay, I can get used to playing with KD where we're 1 and 2 or 1A and 1B, and then Kyrie comes in, and all of a sudden they forget I'm here. That's different. Think about it like this. We've seen The Last Dance. Think about how happy Dennis Rodman was when Scottie Pippen was injured. He became a vocal point in the offense with Michael Jordan. And Scottie comes back, Dennis, you go back to rebounding. And that can affect a player. You look at James Harden, I'm talking about a guy that was an MVP of the league, and you're saying he's the third option? That will mess with anybody's ego.
But sometimes you just have to realize, though, you are the third option.
No. But Rob, this is the point you're missing. James Harden knew he was going to be the third option.
Yeah.
And wanted it.
I don't think he thought he was going to be the third option.
My guy Rob, he said it.
Those words came out of his mouth. But he come on. To me, honestly, he thought that, okay, I might not get the option over KD. I'm going to get the option over Kyrie. And that wasn't the case.
But he came out and he said, I would be the third option.
Yeah.
People come out and say a lot of stuff.
He can say it, but it still rubs him the wrong way being the third option. No, I get
what you said, because you saying that he said that he's going to feed Joel Embiid and then that's what he's
Right,
saying,
and-
but it
and
might
then
not
in the
be the
beginning
case.
it
But
worked.
he's
I
showing it
don't-
through his actions. He's feeding Joel.
Bro, and he did the same thing in the beginning of Brooklyn. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if this is really going to be a happily ever after, because eventually there's going to be a stretch when Joel Embiid or when James Harden, because this is what's going to come down to. There's
Okay.
going to be a stretch when the 76ers are down, and Joel Embiid is going to be on the block, and he's going to be demanding the ball, and James Harden is going to start shooting like 4 or 5 threes in a row. Then we'll really see. Because listen, bro, it's the honeymoon. Let's be honest. It's the honeymoon. This is Brooklyn 2.0. And like in terms of the beginning, everything was all good. Everything was lovey-dovey. They were eating dinner, going out to parties.
So everything was all good just a week ago.
The only thing that I would
Everything was good. Everything was good until like a couple months ago, where James was like, all right, so I've been here long enough. Let's start accommodating me. And KD was like, I mean, sure, I don't care. Like, because you know how KD is. He's chilling. He's just like, I'm good. And then Kyrie is just like in the background with a blowhorn. No, I need more. I need more. And James is like, bro, you're not even here, son. Like, you want to get paid while you on vacation. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
At the
know.
vaccine mandate had to,
That's the thing,
at
though.
the
But that's the
vaccine
thing,
mandate
though.
had to come into play. Do you think James would have left Brooklyn?
I think
If
so. I think
Kyrie,
he still
KD
leaves.
Yeah, he
were able to play and they would have won a ring.
But hey,
I
Rob,
think he
Rob
looked
and
at the
Pride
fact
Bo,
that
you
they
know that
wasn't on the court
Brooklyn.
together.
Hey, Brooklyn was such a mess that you can. It's hard to compare Brooklyn and the situation of Brooklyn and the situation in Philadelphia, because the situation of Brooklyn was so muddled up with injury and this, that, and the other that it's hard to tell. But I think that
But
Harden
that's what I'm
wants to
saying,
win.
though.
I think he wants to
That
win. He
was
goes to
not the case.
Philadelphia, and I think he does. And I think he's going to do just fine. He's going to dish the ball. He's going to get Embiid involved. Embiid is going to get his, and Harden will get his. And I think these guys are going to be great. My only question is now I think it takes away from Embiid's narrative that he doesn't have to carry the team, because for MVP, one of the main categories is how important is he to his team? How can he carry a team? And I think Harden takes some of that pressure off of Embiid. I still think Embiid gets the MVP, but I think it does take away a little bit from his narrative that he doesn't have to carry the team anymore.
There's only
Well,
one big
again, if
difference.
his
though.
numbers drop dramatically, then yes. But again, if he's only losing 1 point and 1 assist,
Right.
but he's still kind of doing his thing, I don't think that narrative would really apply unless you just don't like Joel Embiid. That's really the only way it'll really apply. But if he's dropping like 5 points, then yeah, you're gonna have to factor that. But again, if it's just 1 point, 1.5 points, hell, maybe even 2, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, to be honest.
There's one big difference, though, in this that I think would make the honeymoon phase last longer than what a lot of people expect. Joel Embiid is the first legitimate scoring option that James Harden has had that plays a completely different style than he does.
Oh, I agree. And I think that's
Oh.
like,
Because if you look,
I think that's why they complement each other, though, right?
if you look at
That's why-
look at when he was in Oklahoma City, Kevin Durant does everything James Harden does.
Right.
Obviously, Kevin Durant's more of a mid-range guy than Harden is, but they both shoot a ton of threes. Russell
But that's
Westbrook-
why I think that Joel Embiid and James Harden are going to work.
Yep.
That's why they're going to
You
work
have the
so well
you have the
together,
inside,
because they
outside.
complement each other. They're not competing. They're complementing, and that's why I think both of them
Yep.
are going to have incredible games
Which-
because they are complementary
And
and,
the-
not
and the thing
necessarily
is,
competitive.
With that, you can't double team either one of them. You double team
No.
Harden, well, then you got
You gotta
Embiid
go to
one-on-one
Embiid.
on the block. If you double team Embiid down low, then you got
You're gonna go
Harden
to
one-on-one out there. That's why I think this is
yeah.
going to be like the perfect match for Harden, because it's the first time that he can handle the point guard position, because he had Russell Westbrook and then he had Kyrie Irving, so he wasn't handling the point guard position unless one of them were out. So this is the first time he can handle the point guard position, play the game he wants to play, but then he has a legitimate scoring option with him that does something completely different. And he
Which
doesn't
is
have to worry
which
about
is exactly why I'm
scoring
saying
guys.
Embiid doesn't have to carry that team. Embiid no longer has to carry because he has his Batman and Robin. They had the yin and the yang. They got the complementary players where he doesn't have to carry because now he's got help.
Mhm.
Yeah, that just
And
became
I really can't wait to see what Philly does. I think this is going to be an amazing version of it. And I really think it's going to be Embiid going against Giannis, which I hope it is. I hope Embiid goes up against Giannis in the finals. That would be amazing.
I would tell you this, man. That just became the deadliest pick and roll in the game.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Between
agree.
Harden and Embiid. Oh my God! I was
mean,
just looking
look.
at them against the Knicks, and it looked beautiful. And what a lot of people not mentioning, the elevated play of Tyrese Maxey. Like now he gets.
Oh yeah, no. Max is doing him. Yeah,
to do what he
Max
wants
is doing
to do.
Maxey.
And then you got Tobias. You got Tobias Harris.
The ultimate off the ball player.
No, do not bring up Tobias Harris. He just had a horrible game. And no, I almost dropped him from fantasy. I was so dropping this man, bro. The only reason I didn't is because I saw the scoreboard and I was up 7-2. I was winning 7 categories of the 9. So I was like, all right, you skating by so far, though. I almost cut him. I wasn't even gonna replace him. I was gonna cut him. I was gonna someone else have fun with him. I don't care if he pops off for 50 points next week. I don't care. I don't want him anymore.
But I think those shots for Tobias are gonna start falling. He just missed some shots. I mean, and he got to get used to that.
But everybody has an off night too.
He's a one.
Everybody can have an off night.
He's a.
I mean, maybe I was just being dramatic. I don't know.
No, I get you though. I get you because he has it to me, and a lot of people said he has, but to me, Tobias has been a little quiet this season.
A little.
It's been a little quiet this season.
A little.
Other people telling he's having an okay season. I'm like, yeah,
and it's okay, but that's not enough. Like,
not
enough.
Not for the money. It might be enough with James Harden.
When they got him, they were like, "Yo, you need to contribute on the scoring," and he can, but I don't know what it is.
We don't mean to be so hard on J. Cole.
In his mind, he's like, "Oh yeah, Ben is still on the court." Like he's been playing like Ben Simmons was still on the court. Like, all right, Ben, here, give us that 15 you usually give us. Oh wait, I just gave the ball to Thibault. Who's scoring? And then MB's just looking at him like, "Hey yo,
I know.
What are you doing? So what are you, Ben Simmons 2.0? You passing up shots." I'm allowed to say that because I've been the only Ben Simmons defender, so I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah, you can do what you do.
Yeah, no, shut up, Rob. I don't care about you. All right? Nah, because I know what's coming. Because as soon as I say that, he gonna say, "Oh yeah, Ben Simmons trash." No.
I want to say, bro. No, I want to say this. I think we're gonna have to relook at the end of the regular season on which team really benefited from that trade. Because a lot of people were saying Brooklyn, including myself, because I just think, and I do still think that in a way, like you look at the way Drummond was able to step up big against the Bucks, got that block on Giannis, you know what I mean? Blocking 3-point shots.
But it's not even that, Rob. It's not even that. Brooklyn won that trade, not because of the players they got, although it is complimentary to that. But I really think they won, and they got picks. They got picks plus the players, and picks are gold sometimes.
I'm not concerned with the picks.
I'm not concerned with the picks because the Brooklyn is built to win now.
Yeah, it is.
Brooklyn.
I get it, and I think that's what I'm saying. I think the picks, along with the players, because they got a shooter in Seth Curry, they got a rebounder in Drummond, and they got a defensive presence in freaking Simmons, plus the picks. How is that not a win over Harden, who was, it is what it is.
Because if Philly wins now,
that's a big if, though. Hey, Rob, that's a big if. Look, let's not anoint the 76ers as the NBA champions already.
I'm not ready to do that.
What I'm saying is they got a lot of work to do in order to prove that trade right. They got work to do, Rob.
I'll be honest with you. Because Dustin just said something in the private chat. Dustin, I'm going to let you go ahead and say it, and then I'm going to touch on that point.
I think both teams benefited equal, and I kind of compare this to when the Chicago Cubs traded Yu Darvish to the Padres last year. Obviously, the Padres won that trade right away because they got Yu Darvish, who is a perennial all-star caliber pitcher who can give you Cy Young numbers pretty much every single season when he's healthy.
Except when he's batting.
But the Cubs benefited in that trade in the long run because they added 4 prospects. 3 of them are supposed to be top 100 prospects before it's all said and done. So from a future side of things, 2 of them top 50. Yeah, from a future side of things, the Cubs won that trade, but they didn't win it up front. You look at this trade too. The Sixers won this trade up front because you get a guy in James Harden who has a guy in Joel Embiid, and if they can continue to play what they've done the first 2 games, they're going to be a legitimate title contender this year. But in the long run, Brooklyn did benefit from this trade more just because picks or not, we've seen how the NBA works. You can find all-star caliber talent at any point in the draft. Early in the first round, late in the first round, second round, like when Jokic was taken, I think 58th overall. the NBA, as long as you have a good college scouting for you, you can find talents in that draft. So Brooklyn, I think, benefited long-term in the future just because they have those picks to add to that roster. They have those picks to add to Durant, to add to Irving, versus the Sixers won this trade up front just because they get a guy like Harden who has this year and most likely is going to pick up his option next year, and you at least have basically 2 years of win now mode for Philly.
Well, for me, I mean, maybe it's just me. I kind of agree, but not because of the pick aspect. Let's say Philly wins this year, and if Philly wins this year and then Brooklyn wins next year, then that kind of makes it a wash. Because let's be honest, both teams right now, both teams really do have a roster that's capable of winning an NBA championship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, you know, if Philly ends up winning this year and Brooklyn next year, or vice versa, then I don't think there really is a loser. I think you could make the argument that both teams kind of won. You know what I mean? Like initially, I did say initially that Brooklyn won, but after taking a step back, it's like, I mean, let's say if Philly wins, even if not this year, next year, if they win with James Harden, you could consider that a win for them. And if Brooklyn ends up winning right after, or you know what I mean, like right after or right before.
Hey, I have a question. Hey, given this trade scenario, where obviously they got Harden for what they gave up, is this a better outcome for Philadelphia? This trade versus the one they could have had with Sacramento?
Yes, because they get a proven scorer out of it.
Yeah,
Sacramento, you had Halliburton, who does a lot for you, but he's not going to be the consistent, proven scorer that Harden is. You can't expect Halliburton to come out there and give you 30 points a night. Like, granted, Harden might not do that, but there's still the expectation that Harden can come out there and give you 30 points a night.
And listen, this is an interesting point.
No, James Harden has come up short in post.
Multiple times.
That's a big flag.
Spurs, Clippers, Golden State.
Yep.
So,
and it would fall on. Now, I will say this: if the Sixers don't make the finals or they don't, win it all, it's gonna be on James Harden. He's gonna be the reason why.
Depending.
And that's my question. And that's really where I was going. What I'm saying is this: if the Sixers don't win with this experiment and you gave up 2 draft, look, I'm a firm believer in draft picks. I'm a firm believer in the future of the NBA. I'm a firm believer in that, and I'm a firm believer in Seth Curry, Drummond, whatever. And that's why I was saying they could have got a young Halliburton who is a good scorer, kept your draft picks, fought another day. If it doesn't work with Harden, you gave up some of your future for this experiment, just like Brooklyn gave up 3 picks of their future for Harden. And I mean,
by the way, real quick,
it's crazy.
Baseball fans, Derek Jeter stepping down as the CEO of the Miami Marlins.
Really?
That is by far the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Because it's the same just I'll never give up. I love it here. It is sad because of their future is actually bright. What's up, Pumpkin? How you doing, baby girl?
So Derek Jeter left the Marlins, and I wonder what he's gonna do now.
Well, he's probably going to take some time off.
I mean, they're not going to play baseball this season anyway, so why the hell would you own a team if you can't even play? Take a year off and have some fun.
If you're a CEO, don't you still get paid?
Yeah.
So they could have taken a paid vacation, Sway. You could have taken a paid vacation.
Yeah.
But look, again, that point about James Harden.
Mike.
Hi.
What do you want, Mike?
I'm just here.
All right, bet. So hold on. Matter of fact, since you're here, let's segue because I know you're a Chicago Bulls fan.
Can I just say something really quick, Brad?
Go ahead, Dustin.
What you were saying, if this experiment does not work, Doc and Morey are officially on a 14-month clock. Where if this experiment doesn't work, when Harden's 2 years are up, they're both gone.
I'd say Morey more than Doc.
Yeah, probably.
Nah,
Maury
no
first
way.
before
After what Doc did to Ben Simmons, I think he's
Yeah, I
already
think-
on,
I was about to say-
already on
say,
the clock
Doc?
as it is.
Doc, sure. That
They
one I
probably
get.
already kind of side-eyeing.
Yeah, I was about to say, because Doc right now is a little warm.
Hey,
It's a little
honestly,
warm.
I would put Doc and Morey both on the hot seat at some.
That's what I said. I think they're on a 14-month
Daryl
clock because
Morey,
if Harden
They're
picks up
both on the hot seat, though.
No, I don't understand it. I don't understand that.
Talking
I
about with Daryl
don't
Morey.
understand that.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
but
What do you
Daryl-
not understand,
Listen,
Pride?
Doc Rivers, I get that one because again, after that collapse, and again, the way him being in his light skinned feelings, he's still mad that Paul George did what he did to his daughter and
But
whatnot.
why do you think that Morey is not on the hot seat, though, Pride?
And
Why
you
is
know
Morey
why?
not on
I'm
it?
gonna tell you why don't they Morey? Because they wanted James Harden before Daryl Morey even got there.
Fact.
That right there is the
I think
reason
that's why
I'm
they
not
got
gonna
Daryl
big
Morey, right?
Morey.
To bring in James Harden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
To be
like,
honest,
why
though,
am I
to
gonna
be honest,
blame
though.
Daryl Morey when that is the equivalent, like that is the equivalent of the Boston Celtics. Let's say for some unknown dumb reason, we decided to fire E-Man and we brought in Terry Stotts, right? And the only reason we brought in Terry Stotts was for us to go get Damian Lillard. Okay, we get Damian Lillard. It ends up going poo-poo, and Dame walks. Are we gonna blame Terry Stotts? No, because the only reason we got you was to get him because we wanted him.
So as far as they're
That's
concerned,
really
you
it.
looking at Philly like, well, Morey did what he was supposed to do. He bought in the beard.
Exactly. So that's why.
It just makes me awesome that we got 3 picks for Harden in Houston and we benefited off of it. And I feel like Philadelphia off of Harden, if it doesn't work, they gave up for him. And I think, and I get that what you're saying. Morey probably won't be in the hot seat because the Sixers did want him. But at the end of the day, I think you're screwing your team over
Giving
by
up the picks, I think,
and
is what
Philadelphia has a
might
horrible
be.
track record anyway.
But they wouldn't have been top picks anyway, based on Philly's record, right?
Exactly. They
They
would be
wouldn't have been top picks. Like
No.
you would have been getting like the bottom of the barrel.
to be honest.
But you know what, though? Sometimes bottom of the barrel, though. Hey, Rob Scott, sometimes bottom of the barrel can prove you wrong.
Oh, it
No,
can.
but no.
It
That's how it
can.
was.
Nobody
No.
saw Tom Brady coming.
No,
But-
okay. Hold on,
How
time out.
many times Brady got at the bottom of the barrel?
Hey, watch this. Hey, watch this. Let me help you out. Let me help you out. Sam Bowie.
Yeah.
Sam Bowie. If you don't know who that was, he got drafted above
Again,
Jordan.
but
He is the
But-
most famous NBA player ever that was not a significant impact on a franchise
But here's
because
the
of that
thing.
decision.
For every, and let's be
We're
fair,
not even going to talk about Kwame Brown.
for every guy that was
Better
drafted late,
stop. You're gonna end up
there's
on
like
Kwame's
4 of them
podcast.
who was washed by 5 years.
Or
Yeah.
Nolan's Noel.
And isn't he still hooping on the Knicks?
Not really.
No, shut up, Mike. You know, we don't talk to losers, bro. Y'all got waxed by Memphis. Shut up.
No, we didn't.
First of all, we didn't get waxed.
We got
We
waxed
didn't
by
get
Moran.
waxed by
I
Memphis,
only
okay?
talk about winners out here, bro. We only talk
Okay.
about winners, like my Boston
Okay.
Celtics, bro. We
Because
ain't
you know
doing
what?
that
I'll
shit, bro.
tell you
We don't
this.
talk
Oh
about
yeah,
winners.
we ain't gonna do that. I
For
ain't
the
even
talking
Bulls
gonna
to
about
do
play,
that.
for the Bulls to play like they played yesterday, a lot of that stuff wouldn't have went down if we had Caruso and Ball, man. You got to remember, that's how wings. That's
So
how
Caruso
wings
Oh.
defense. That's not
hold on.
fair.
So Caruso, who wouldn't have started? Yo, great. You see how that's funny, bro? You see how that's funny? A role player would have dictated it. What a time to be
Yeah,
alive.
when you
So-
talk
Yo,
about
yo,
your top
versus me and
defender
mine.
on your
Oh
team,
my God.
your
My
top
role player plays 30 minutes a game.
Who plays 30 minutes a game?
Alex Caruso.
Well, guess what? If he was nice, he'd be playing 40. Get out of my face, bro.
Alright,
Get out of my
Oh,
face.
you loved it when he played
Hey,
with
look,
LeBron.
you know, listen, I like
You loved
Chicago.
it when he played with LeBron.
Get out of my face, bro.
my.
listen, right now, bro. Listen.
Deflecting,
The Celtics, bro.
deflecting.
No. The Celtics were 8-10. We're 8-2 in our last 10.
Shout out to
I'm
Ja
off it right
Morant,
now.
though. He scored
I'm
a
a little
career high
cocky.
46 points. Hey, it took a lot to beat the Bulls. You got to get your career high to beat them.
That's it.
Oh, for real,
Yeah.
Rob.
Facts.
Rob. Question: did y'all still lose?
Lost by 3. I'm
Yeah, we
chilling.
lost
Lost
by
by
3.
six.
But
Okay.
did y'all still lose?
Yeah, we did.
Chilling.
So I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about no career high. Don't matter. It don't
Lost by
matter. Career high, career low, no career, any career, my career, it don't matter. Y'all lost by 3.
You
We lost
right.
by
We,
6,
played,
Pride.
we put up a better
Get it
fight
right.
than the Patriots did against the Bills, though.
Hey yo, hold on, Rob.
Oh,
Robert,
shots are
Oh.
fired. Shots are fired.
Robert,
Y'all about to see a different side of Pride right now.
talking about basketball.
What fight is your Boston Celtics putting up?
Hey, Pride, why y'all picking on me? Why y'all picking on me?
This is the way he came
Yeah,
at Chicago. Don't do that. Don't do
Hey,
that.
hold on. Right now, Pride is saying, why y'all picking on me for, man? We were talking about basketball. Now y'all talking about the football.
Man, we talking
I'll
about
tell you,
basketball. We talking about practice.
Even though the Bulls lost that game, they still look better than the Lakers.
Oh boy!
Hey,
See,
everybody-
it's only been Russell
Hey,
Westbrook.
listen. Hey, let me ask you a question.
LeBron got booed.
I
He didn't want to shake nobody
Let me ask you
hand.
a question. Pride, let me ask you. How is it, and this is what I don't understand. Look, you can say what you want to say about the Lakers. They're old as hell. They're AARP. They need Viagra. They need all this, right? But how is it that you have so much talent on the team and you lose to the Pelicans? I don't understand. How can this Lakers team be so bad?
I like the
They
Pelicans.
lose to the Pelicans. I mean, like, what the hell?
Can I answer, please? I know.
Go ahead, Dustin.
I never see you this excited. Go ahead, Dustin.
Because the Lakers have finally realized that they cannot win with the roster they have, and I think everyone besides LeBron.
No,
James
I get it though, Dustin. I get it. I get what you're saying. I just never look. But even with the roster they had, look, they still should be able to beat the damn Pelicans. I don't think they could beat like
Jay.
No, I
Nah,
think
Jay,
everybody besides
I think you really got to look at that.
LeBron is checked out. I really think
But
everybody.
they
on that
gotta
team
be able to at
besides
least
LeBron
beat
is
the
checked out.
Pelicans, though.
But they like the two.
Or even watch it.
LeBron is checked out again, like he did another time.
Greg.
Hey, and how do you not beat the Oklahoma City Thunder?
He checked out again.
Come on. I need to
Check out
dispel
LeBron
this
James
myth.
at
I need to
noon.
dispel this idiotic
The
myth.
Pelicans are pretty good.
I mean, shouldn't you be able
Not
to?
only that, especially after the trade with CJ McCollum, they're
Yeah.
actually. I'm not gonna say they're world beaters, but
No,
you know,
but they got
they're a gritty
extremely
team.
better.
It's
Yeah,
decent.
no, they're a gritty
Yeah, hold
team.
on, but Pride. My thing is this: with LA should have at least enough talent to overcome a team like the Pelicans or the Thunder.
Jay,
I mean, at the very bottom.
Hold on, Jay,
Jay,
you're
they
making
lack
the
the
same
two
mistake.
E's: energy and efficiency.
Not only
Yeah,
that,
that's
not only
right.
that. I'm
That's
not
right.
even going to that. Jay, you're making the problem. You're making the same mistake that not only Lakers fans but casual fans are making.
The
They
Pelicans,
got talent.
Hey, and to help Pride really quick, the Pelicans just beat the Suns, and it wasn't
need
close.
help. I don't need help.
You
You
need
feel me?
help.
I know the Bulls
saying, bro.
need help.
All right, you
I
know
don't
what,
need help.
Pride?
I don't
You
need
know
help.
what?
Patriots
Hey,
need help.
that's why Tom Brady left you.
Personal
That's
matter.
why Mookie Betts left you, and that's why Jason Tatum finna leave you too, bro.
Hold on. Time out. First of all, we traded Mookie, so
Because
we
you wanted out, bro.
We parted ways mutually. Why you gotta bring a host? Guess what? You know who we
when
gotta
Shorty
return?
wants to
I
break
got
up,
Alex Verdugo.
when
That's
Shorty
who I
wants
got.
to break up and
Best
you just say
outfielder in
okay,
baseball.
it's not mutual. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
we wanted him. He wanted more money. We were like, nah, bro,
Hey.
he's too ugly anyway. Like,
If you want to know about
why we gonna wife him?
if you want to know about the Lakers, hey Jay, you remember Kurt Angle had the 3 eyes? The Lakers like the 3 E's: efficiency, effort, and energy, bro. That's why.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not good, and I get that, and I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to say. The Lakers are so stupid right now. They're playing so crazy that they can't beat them. They got enough talent. Look, let's be honest. I'm not. Look, these guys are not going to beat a above 500 team. There's no doubt about that. But I'm just saying, when you look at the bottom feeders, the Lakers, even at their worst, should be able to beat the bottom feeder teams.
No, they should.
Hey, we can go out there. This team right here, we can go out there and go put 50.
Okay, you know what? I'll tell you what, Pride. Hey, watch it, Pride. I'm gonna tell you what. Based on that, I don't ever want to hear this damn LeBron bullshit ever the fuck again, because Jordan would never be associated with this.
Except there's last 2 years in Washington.
I don't want to hear about your freaking LeBron BS ever
By the way,
again.
Rob,
You know what?
Rob,
That's why LeBron is. LeBron is what we thought he was. He's
You
the
see the
second
shirt?
Rob, we the one.
great Michael Jordan.
Rob, guess what? One day when it comes to that guy LeBron James, you will acknowledge him. Stop playing with my ball one time.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Acknowledge that he.
Hold on.
Let me
Hey,
explain something.
LeBron James is a carbon copy, lip sync, cheap lip suit version of Michael Jordan. He's a carbon copy wannabe.
No, he's not. 'cause
Michael-
He's a
Michael
carbon
didn't go to the
copy
Wizards.
wannabe.
Time out. First and
Right.
foremost, we need to dispel this myth, all right? Like, the chosen one was put on him by Sports Illustrated. So let's just stop this notion, okay? That's one. Number two,
Since like
he
16.
plays more like Magic. Okay? He plays more like Magic. He's always said that. This is not something that he said, the guy I love is MJ, but I emulate my game after Magic. This is something that's been historically said. That's two. Three, for you to say that this right here disqualifies him from the GOAT conversation, then let's talk about it, because then Jordan's last 2 years in Washington.
Hell, I think Jordan's last 2 years in Washington are much better than LeBron's crappy version this year. It's not even the same playoffs.
No.
It wasn't.
All due disrespect, Jay.
You can't even beat the Pelicans. You can't even beat Oklahoma City
That is
Thunder.
the dumbest thing you said on this show. With all due, that is the dumbest thing you said on this show.
No, it's not. You lost to the freaking Pelicans. Jordan's Wizards would never lose to the Pelicans. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me?
But Rob,
go back and learn your sports.
Greg, Mike, the funny part, he's saying that, the Wizards would never lose to the Pelicans. Do you want to know why? Because they were the Pelicans. They were OKC, bro. What are you talking about? They were the bottom feeders. Stop playing, bro.
Hey,
to get 20. To get 20. My GOAT out here dropping 30. Dropping 30.
Hey, didn't Mike have 50? He scored 51 with the Wizards.
Hey.
Rob, you realize how much
I love it when Pride gives me up.
I gotta mute Rob. He talking about the past too much, bro.
Michael won 19 games with the Wizards in 2000. 19 games. That's dog shit, Jay.
Rob, that game that you said Michael Jordan scored 51 with the Wizards on?
Yeah.
You realize what the Wizards scored as a team outside of Michael Jordan?
What, 80?
25. They scored 76 points and lost 97-76, and Jordan had 51. That shows you how bad that Wizards team was.
Right. Don't come at Mike. It was the team. It was the team.
Hold on. But you see, this right here is what I said last week. The standard we have for LeBron shows me he truly is the GOAT. Because when MJ has bad teammates, look at what he did. But when LeBron has bad teammates and we point out his stats, you say, he's still supposed to elevate. If MJ was that dude, he should elevate them. I
love you, Pride.
I
love you, Pride. You're my boy, Blue.
That's fine. I'm not.
No. I want you to know that I love you, Pride.
This is all I'm saying. Keep the same consistency. That's all I ask.
I know.
How do you feel about?
I'm sorry, Pride. I wasn't consistent. I'm sorry, Pride. Please forgive me.
Greg, you're getting me. Go ahead, Mike.
For me, Pride, it's more of I'm more upset about like when it comes to like, okay, so we're gonna look at Michael and we're gonna look at LeBron, both with the Wizards and then with the Lakers. My problem is like Michael left because he was like, all right, fuck this, fuck management. I'm going.
You can't say the F word. You can't say that, Mike. I
heard you say it. I don't want to hear you speak.
Jay, you dropped quite a few F bombs.
But not Bride. My thing is, I look at it. Michael kind of just left and
By
went.
the way, that was my version of sarcasm.
Hey, Jay, shut up.
I bet you won't say that with video. I bet you won't say shut up with video.
Because my camera broke. But Pride, would you say Brian? The only reason I say he has to take that blame is because Michael just wanted to hoop. He didn't care where he went. And with Brian, you kind of made this roster.
No. Because here's the thing.
I'm not saying he ain't trying. Like he's
don't get it twisted. Bron made some of this roster, so of course don't get it twisted. I've been consistent with this in terms of bringing Russ. Bron got to wear some of that blame. I've been consistent with this. Have I not been?
Yeah,
you've been pretty consistent. I'll give you that.
He needs to wear a chunk of it. I've said he needs to wear at least 50%. And honestly, the reason I only say 50 is because at the same time I get it, he's saying it, but the front office also needs to grow a set. You got LeBron James already held down for a few years. So Jeannie and Rob should have been like, look, Bron, we understand that's what you think,
Right.
but this is where we're going to go. Like, I understand. So me personally, I say 50-50. If you want to do 60-40, whatever, I don't care. I've always said LeBron needs to get
Right.
the play,
And
okay?
that was my thing with Mike was like, Mike walked in there and shit was ass before he even got there. So I
And
was
then
like,
he signed himself, though. But hold on.
Sure.
It's not that he just, hold on. No. It's not that he just wanted to hoop. He signed himself because he said, I could do better and I could help lead this team to success. That's what he said.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what, when he did that memo, when him saying, oh, yeah, I quit back, he did it. Why? Because he's like, I can help these dudes. I could hoop. Listen. Listen, if it's a lie, he told it. If it's a lie, MJ done told it. I'm just reiterating what he's saying. So we can't use the excuse that, oh, yeah, he was just trying to hoop. Because if he was just trying to hoop, he would have said that. But no, he signed himself. Because again, we got to remember, he was signing the checks. So if he just wanted to hoop, he would have signed himself and said, all right, I'm just here so I won't get fined. He could have done that. But no, he said he was there to help. So,
I mean, in a way, he did.
They were better than what they was.
I mean, before Michael.
Greg, let me ask you a question, Greg. Let me ask you a question. Okay, so my fiance, her mom and her stepdad, they just got back today. They went up to New York. They went to see some people, right? We had their dogs. Okay, right here, right now, they got two cute little dogs, right? The younger one, right? Let's say she does a doodle on the floor. Okay, she poops on the floor. Okay, I smell it. Ooh, that's poo poo, right? I run outside because I want to escape it, and right next to it, I'm next to the trash. The trash stinks, but not as bad as the poo-poo. But that don't mean the trash smell like roses. They still stink. You still stink.
I understand that, but before Michael Jordan got to Washington had 18 wins. Michael Jordan gets there. They go from 18 to 29. The next year they go 19, and then his last 2 years in Washington, they went 37-45, 37-45. Granted, they didn't make the playoffs in any of those years.
Making progress.
And again, we're now slaughtering LeBron James for going under 500, and we're gonna praise MJ for it. Come on, now,
I'm not slaughtering LeBron James for going under 500 at all.
About the consistency. Stop playing.
I'm not slaughtering LeBron James for going under 500 at all.
And pray that we can get a time machine. I want prime MJ to come back and have prime Miami Bron, so we can have the one-on-one. So
I don't like Miami Bron. I like Cleveland the second time, Bron.
Well, the only reason I say Miami Bron is because that was his time. That really was when he kind of was at his pinnacle offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like that 2016 season. I liked him well-rounded. I felt like he was passing more. He was doing his thing.
I think offensively that was his best, but defensively he kind of was more doing that free safety type of thing.
Not a liability, but he was kind of standing around waiting for
because if he could still play defense, it was just more along the lines of he had to conserve his energy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
See what LeBron James and Michael Jordan did one-on-one. Go to YouTube and look up their scrimmage, because Michael Jordan is the one that appointed LeBron James as the chosen one at age 16.
I'm trying to see Magic and Mike,
because Ron Artest held like a celebrity scrimmage at like an open high school gym. I think back in 2001 or 2002 when LeBron was 16. LeBron was invited to that scrimmage because Ron Artest wanted to show Michael Jordan who LeBron James was. And LeBron James was going one-on-one with Michael Jordan pretty much that whole game, doing the exact same things that Michael Jordan was doing. And basically Michael Jordan turned to look at Ron Artest and said, that's the chosen one right there.
This is why you're here, Dustin. And I agree.
This is
what I'm saying. If you want to say Mike is the GOAT, that's fine. I'm more to agree to disagree because I believe Mike is still top three regardless. My top three, and if your top three isn't this, I don't talk to you. This is why I'm not talking to Rob right now. Bron, MJ, Kareem.
Yep, I agree. If
that's not your top three.
Yep.
That's
definitely my top three. Definitely my top
LeBron,
three.
I have
no doubt about it.
I have MJ and LeBron 1 and 2, but I have Wilt and Kareem. I always flip, just because we don't know how good Wilt was, because a lot of the numbers he put up, nobody knows if they're accurate.
That's true.
But if they are
that's
accurate,
a good point. That's a good point.
Accurate, you have to put Wilt way up there if the numbers he was putting up are actually accurate.
And let's be honest, nobody in the history of basketball has ever scored 100 damn points. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
that performance is so mythical. People think it didn't.
But he lost.
But it's still, and that's okay though. But
And
100
Kobe
points,
scored 81 and
how
won.
do you overlook
I don't want
100
to hear
points
nothing.
though?
I don't care what none of y'all say. Kobe is my third favorite player.
Again, do me.
And he-
You don't know basketball, and me and Pride aren't talking to you.
But this is
I
not.
don't wanna
This is
talk
not
to
about
y'all
who
either.
your favorite is. Who your favorite is doesn't matter. Do you know who my favorite was before LeBron was? You know who my favorite player was? Rondo. That was my
And
favorite.
that's why I'm
player.
not talking to you.
That was my dude.
That's
You think about,
ridiculous.
oh yeah, Rondo top 3 all time.
Kobe
You
is
doing
top 3.
that.
Kobe's top 3.
I have Kobe top 5. I don't have him top
Yeah,
3.
he top,
Top
5.
3.
for
I have
sure.
top
If-
5.
if-
I
My
can see
top 3.
Kobe in the
It's
top
my
5.
list.
I can
It's
see
my
Kobe
list.
in top
And I'm
5.
And your
sticking
list is
to it.
wrong. And your
You
list is
lucky
wrong.
you
Top
lucky
three is
I put
ridiculous.
LeBron over him.
It's top. Again, top 3 is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I will never understand the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar slander. I will never.
No, I love
understand
Kareem.
No,
But
Kareem
I
was
don't-
I
one of
don't-
the best.
I like Kareem, but hold on, wait. I like
wasn't
Kareem,
alive.
but to
I
Dustin's
wasn't
point,
alive.
to that guy's
I
point,
saw Kobe.
you don't know what all Wilt Chamberlain
Yeah.
did, so it's really hard to compare when you don't
But
know
I
the
have-
full story of Wilt.
I have Kareem number 3 because you know exactly what he did. But
do.
I have Wilt at a very close number 4 just because
I agree.
nobody knows
Or
what
even-
Wilt
or
did.
could you say, Dustin, could you say 3A and 3B?
Hold on.
Yeah, you can say
Because of
3
that.
actually. Yeah.
Put that back
Yeah,
up.
no,
Frank.
Frankie said that, and I said no. You're wrong. It don't matter.
Thank
You're
you,
wrong.
Frankie. Thank you, Frankie.
Again, again. I'm gonna ask you a question. Whenever has MJ shot over, or I'm sorry, has Kobe shot over 40% or 48% from the field? Spoiler: never,
Guess
never,
what? Guess what?
never.
Guess what?
His shooting stats were average,
Guess what?
and it's like if you're gonna do that, and
Doesn't
again, if
matter.
we're gonna go championships without Shaq, he don't get those. He
Doesn't-
don't get those. What, the first 3 championships?
Doesn't matter.
You don't
no,
get those.
No. Without Kobe, Shaq doesn't get his first 3
You are
championships.
smoking. You do not
Nah.
know what you're talking about.
Nah.
You don't know what
Well, you know what's
Nah.
weird to me? Hold on, let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you a question.
Why I
Wait,
say
wait,
that?
let me
Why I
ask you a
say
question.
that?
Hey,
Who ended up with
That's
more
what it comes down
championships,
to.
Pride? Who ended up with more championships, Pride?
hey, but let me ask you a question
I
now.
did.
Because let me ask you a question. What is
Hold on,
more
hold on. What happens
important
when
though?
Kobe, but the balls
No.
that Kobe gets, he misses because guess what? LeBron James and Michael Jordan shoot better in clutch time than Kobe.
Then LeBron should have more
Oh,
rings.
This is
LeBron
stupid.
should have more championships then. And stop losing in the finals all
LeBron
the
ended
time.
up playing the greatest dynasty.
He just loses in the finals all the time. Yeah, he gets to the finals and then he loses. He's a loser. Loser.
Yes, and he lost. He lost. But again, this is a question I have: who could have beaten that? Who could have beat Golden State?
No, nobody.
I think there's one
Honestly,
team.
Golden State is considered one of the best teams of all time.
I think
I mean,
the
who
I think
really
the
could've
I think
beat
the
him? I mean-
72-10 Bulls beat that Golden State.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they
Oh,
got the
facts.
school team
I
out
don't
there.
know.
They're
Facts.
gonna win
I don't
that.
know about that.
Facts.
I don't know about that.
They
Facts.
gonna
Mainly,
win that.
mainly because you're gonna have Michael Jordan and Kevin Durant basically neutralize each other.
Yep.
You're gonna have Scottie Pippen and Draymond Green neutralize each other,
Okay.
and you're gonna have Curry and Rodman as kind of the X factor. Curry's gonna be the X factor offensively because he's the better shooter, but Rodman's gonna be that X factor on defense because of the rebounding. But then you
Dennis
also have,
Rodman is going to
How
out
you gonna get
Draymond
rebounds if they don't
Draymond.
miss?
but then you're gonna
Dennis
have Tony,
Rodman is going to out Draymond.
Tony
That's what's
Kukoc-
gonna
I
happen.
don't know though.
Tony
I don't-
Kukoc
I
and
mean,
Klay
rebounds,
Thompson
don't
are
get
gonna
it
X
twisted, he
factor each
will.
other.
Rebounding, Rodman will out rebound Draymond. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know what
Draymond running
can do
offense.
offensively in terms of running the floor.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be fair here. Dennis Rodman don't do that.
right.
You
Not
know
at
what
all.
I mean? Like,
He just did
and
his
again,
thing.
this is a Draymond who we've seen him multiple times only get 6 points, all of them on fast breaks.
Yeah.
And he just kind of orchestrates the offense, let
Yeah.
Clay and Steph kind of run around and get
That's what
open
you're
and
supposed to
whatnot.
do.
So
When
it's
you got
like,
shooters like that.
so
you set the
that's what I'm
screen
saying.
and get 'em
I
open.
don't know how much they're really gonna cancel each other out.
I can't believe we're talking about Golden State versus MJ and
Yeah,
the
you gotta
Bulls.
think
That
about
don't
it
even make no damn sense.
from this standpoint. You got Ron
That
Harper out
don't
there.
even make no
He's gonna
damn
make
sense.
he's gonna make life tough
What do
for
you
Steph
mean?
Curry.
Yeah, hold on, Rob.
It
What
don't
do
make
you
no
mean?
damn sense. How you
Those
gonna
are the
compare
two-
Golden
hold on.
State versus MJ and the Bulls? Are we freaking kidding me?
Those
This
are
don't even make no
the
damn
best
sense.
records in a regular season in the history of the NBA.
Golden
Well,
State got that record.
That
Those are
a
two best.
96.
Golden
That
State
90,
is one, and then the Bulls are two.
I will
Oh,
admit
like-
this.
Yeah.
I'm a
96 Bulls
Chicago
team was
fan,
great.
and I will admit this. Golden State had the better roster. when they went 73-9, and then when the Bulls went 72-10.
Yeah, because you got
The difference is
freaking Durant.
the difference is
Nah,
the
they
Bulls could finish the job. Golden State did not finish the job, which is why everyone is going to say that 72-10 Bulls team is still the best team ever because
like
they
there
finished the
were
job.
in Chicago at the time. We kept saying.
See, here's the deal, though, Dustin. No, Dustin, wait a minute. Let's think logically for a minute. The rules and the way the game is played during the Bulls era is not the way the game is played
No,
now.
I agree.
No, it's not even. It's not even the same. It's not the same foul shots. It's not. Everything has changed.
I agree.
So what I'm saying is, it's almost an unfair comparison for both sides of it. It's unfair for Golden State. It's unfair for Chicago.
The only reason why I say Golden State was better was because of what you said. The league is played differently right now. Chicago back then had one legitimate 3-point shooter in Steve Kerr. If you put that Chicago Bulls roster in today's league,
I'm sorry, am I right? You're right, because Michael Jordan was a legitimate 3-point shooter.
He only shot 31.2%.
You're right. I'm sorry.
31%. He only shot 31% in his career. He was not that good of a 3-point shooter.
He wasn't. No, he wasn't. He wasn't good.
He only had 2 years over 36%. He was not that great of a 3-point shooter.
No,
Tony Kukoc shot like 38%, and Steve Kerr shot like 40%. That was like their two outside shooters. You put that Chicago team,
didn't you?
Is that what, Mike?
Yeah, Paxton too.
Yeah,
he shot like 35%.
Paxton was on the first three.
Don't get it twisted. I'm not. But here's the thing: where I think the conversation gets disrespectful is when people say, "Oh yeah, Chicago, without a doubt." Like, no, you're only saying that because you're a Chicago fan. If you were a fan of anywhere else, you would be objecting and go, if you really look
I think
at
that's why I think if you play, if Golden State plays.
Right, and that's why my
thing,
I don't know how you feel about it, but it's one of those things. I need my stat man real quick. You know, when I look at that 72-10 team or whatever the record was,
we got it.
I really do think, you know, if you throw Kevin Durant in there, because Kevin Durant wasn't a part of the 73-win team.
Yeah,
I think no, it wasn't.
I thought that was his first year.
It was
No,
that was the year before, Kate.
that was the year before because that
was the problem.
3-1, and then there was the whole joke on how they all flew over and got KD.
Right, that was the problem, was that Kevin Durant joined a 73-win team, and I think at the end of the day, like Dustin can even agree, in the Chicago media fan base, it was more of, you know, it don't mean nothing without a ring, and they didn't win a ring. But for me, if it's without Kevin Durant, I'm gonna give it to those 72-10 Bulls. If Kevin Durant's there, I would give it to Golden State by a mile.
The only thing
because Steve Kerr is gonna know what Steve Kerr is doing.
Yeah, but MJ would
Jackson them be their coach.
No, but MJ would win that mental battle with Kevin Durant, and you know Kevin Durant gonna say something slick to piss off MJ, and he gonna drop 50.
But here's the thing. He's
gonna drop 50.
Listen, KD is mentally fragile. Yes.
But he's mentally fragile on social media.
He a hitter on the board, though.
Like, yeah, like we need to stop this notion that when he's on the court and you call him the B word, he goes, like, yeah, he gets hurt. He gets in his light-skinned feelings, but while he in his light-skinned feelings, bro, yo, he's shooting like a dark skin. Let's keep it up.
There you do.
What I said in the private chat, though, if the Golden State Warriors that won 73 games play the 72-10 Bulls back in the 90s, the Bulls win that game because of the physical style of play. But if you put the Bulls in today's NBA, Golden State would beat them by 20 because the Bulls didn't have the shooters that Golden State has. The Bulls can try to play physical all they want, but in the end, Golden State's going to make their threes. Chicago didn't have 4 or 5 guys that can go and get you 5 threes on the given night. They had like 1 or 2 that could get you 2 or 3.
And again, Robin, yes, the
you got to think about defensively. They had Ron Harper.
Yeah, but you got to remember, it's not a physical league.
Harper,
they wouldn't be able to
you
play
gotta
that
think Ron Harper's going to make life tough for Steph, man.
He'll make it tough for Steph, but here's the question, though. For how much longer? Like, because you need to understand, Steph, when the ball's in Draymond's hands, that's a lot of movement.
Right.
That let's be fair here. Ron Harper ain't accustomed to that.
Yeah, but the Bulls have the defensive tendency where they can switch. They can switch and be active. Y'all acting like Dennis Rodman wasn't athletic. Y'all acting like they didn't have an athletic team.
Okay,
but you're also forgetting B.J. Armstrong.
B.J. Armstrong was on the 91, 92, 93 team. We ain't talking about him. We talking about 95, 96, 97, 98 roster. that roster would have made life tough on Golden State. And I'm the biggest Golden State fan. I'm the one screaming they're gonna win the championship this year. I'm telling you, as a person that saw this Bulls team, you can't overlook what they would have done defensively.
Oh, you're right. I've been screaming that forever. I've been screaming it forever. I'm the oldest son of a gun on here, and I've seen all eras, and I'm telling you, this is bullshit.
No.
Defensively, they would have made life very tough on them.
Could you imagine Steph Curry, Draymond Green going up against Bill Laimbeer? He would have crucified them and given him a forearm in the face.
Dead.
See, this
right here. I'm
not even talking about.
I would love to see how Kevin
Durant
and KD can go up against a Bill Laimbeer and that style of defense and take a few hits to the face and then come back.
Yeah, that's not defense. That's just fighting.
That's assault.
No, it is, but that's the point.
Rob,
that's
that is
the
not
point.
assault. That is what happens in Chicago on a daily basis.
That's my point, man.
I hate this false pretense.
That's how you say hello in Chicago.
Defense was
so
much
punch somebody right in the mouth.
It was harder.
Defense wasn't good. No, it wasn't.
No, think about it, Brian. Think about what you said. Hold on. Hold on. You got a Bulls team. Now think about this, Zeta. You got a Bulls team going 72-10 in an era in which physicality was paramount. And you want to tell me that the 73-9 could have competed in that environment? And I say this.
How many times have we seen finesse overcome brute force? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
And then come to my TED Talk.
I agree with what Rob said, that Ron Harper would make life difficult for Curry. But Curry runs 9 to 10 miles per game. And that's when he doesn't have the ball, because all he does is like run around in circles, run back and forth, try to free himself up.
Yo,
Ron Harper does not have the endurance to run 9 miles a game with Stephen Curry.
No, nobody does. But I'm saying with the
hold on, Rob.
Okay,
Pharaoh, I need you to do me a favor, brother. Do me a big favor. I want you to retype this whole thing verbatim. I need you to put it in all caps so the dudes in the back can read it, bro. Because this is what I've been saying, bro. Defensively, they were not that good. They were physical, and sure, physicality is cute and all. But then when you remove the physicality and all of a sudden these dudes can't jump over a phone, they got hops like Boogie Cousins after his torn Achilles, bro. These are the kind of bounce you got in the league, bro. You got dudes who on defense just go, huh? Like this is who you got.
Wait a minute now. So you're telling me, wait. So you're telling me that the skill sets. Hold on. You're telling me, Pride. Now let me ask you a question. This is an honest question. So you're telling me that the skill sets of today's game is better than that of yesterday. But let me ask you this. How many in the dunk contest, how many were missed and how many were made? And you tell me about skill sets. Because I've never seen anything so embarrassing other than your year of basketball.
What does that mean?
I'm sorry. TED Talk is over.
What does that mean? No. Hold on, Greg. Hold on, Gregory. All right. Hold on. Jay, what do you mean by that?
What I'm saying is this. Not only were we a good shooting, good performing, good placing on the court, the day's basketball couldn't hold a candlestick to yesterday. And if you think I'm wrong, go look at your dunk contest.
Am I gonna get canceled for saying this? You know what? Yo, you must be in Chicago, bro, because you're smoking.
No, I'm not. I'm not. No. The problem with you, Pride, is you can't separate.
That.
We don't all do that.
Hey, listen. The problem with Pride is Pride can't separate. I can separate. I understand where my Rockets are. I understand where the Chicago Bulls are. I can look at a team and know the damn difference.
Man, we're out of here, Rob. Let's get out of
here. Right. Pride, I feel very disrespected.
Y'all been disrespecting me all episode.
No, but you talking about I smoke crack because I'm from the city of Chicago? Lord Jesus.
You did. I didn't say you did. Robert, I didn't say you did, bro.
I know. I'm just messing with
you. Hey, I'm going to tell you this. I'm just saying that back in my day, people feared Chicago. They feared them. People knew we went to Chicago. Nobody fears Golden State like that.
They feared Chicago, bro.
Yep.
You were beating already before you even stepped on the court.
It was
You
only
just
one.
and don't even tell me. And don't even tell me.
Every team. I'm not saying every team.
Is that why LA dominated them game 1 in the 90s finals when MJ was playing?
All you can do is bring up game 1. What happened in game 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? What happened to that? What happened in game 2? What happened in game 3? What happened in game 4?
Scotty had to get switched on Magic.
Game 5?
When Scotty had to get switched on Magic because
it don't matter who
was
got
MJ?
switched on Magic. All that matters is that the switch happened.
I'm sorry. Who lost to Dirk in the finals?
Who
You're
lost
right.
to Dirk?
He lost to
Who
Dirk.
lost to
No,
Dirk?
Yes, 100%. He lost to Dirk. What's your point?
Trash.
Dirk and who?
Who got killed by Jason Terry in the finals?
Advantage.
Trash. Who got killed by JJ Barea in the finals?
Dirk
Trash.
Again, he didn't get killed by JJ Barea. That's just another talking point you heard you want to spit out to try to discredit.
Are you guys ready for this?
Go ahead, Dustin. Drop the mic on him.
Since you like my stats so much, I just found some stats for you comparing the two teams. And then you guys can decide.
Can I ask you one question though? Let me ask you one question before he goes off this stats, because I don't. Let me ask you, what is more important? Because we're gonna start looking at stat numbers versus the competitiveness versus a lot of other intangibles. What is more important? Because stat numbers. If stat numbers are that, if we're going by stat numbers,
Golden State.
hold on. This is a question I want to ask as well. If we're going by stat numbers, then Kobe Bryant is number 10. If we're going by numbers only will put Kobe at 10. So if we're going to go by stat numbers, understand this. If you look at the stats, Kobe comes in at number 10 versus on the numbers only. Okay, go ahead.
Hey Jay, I was your friend for a moment.
No, it's true. If we're going by stats, because stat guys get ready to get numbers. If we're going by numbers, Rob, I've looked at the numbers. And the numbers don't speak for Kobe Bryant's favor in terms of the top 10. I think Kobe Bryant is in the top 5. But on ESPN's top 75, based on the numbers, they put Kobe Bryant at number 10. Do I believe Kobe Bryant's number 10? No, I do not. But Kobe Bryant's numbers say that he's number 10 per ESPN 75. Dustin's going to give us some stats, but if we go strictly on stats, then we have to believe that Kobe Bryant's number 10. Okay.
It's funny to me how all of a sudden, when you realize the stats could potentially favor Golden State.
No, it's not that, Pride. It's not that. That's not what I'm saying, Pride. But what we have to understand is, hold on. No, Pride, I'm not saying that. Pride, hold on a second now. I'm just saying, my point is this. What is the standard? No, Pride, hold on a second now. What is the standard?
Standard prior to this. All the stats matter prior to this.
No. It doesn't even matter prior to this. I'm asking you, what is the standard that we go by? Because do we go by stats? Do we go by intangibles? Do we do a combination of both? Because what I'm saying is that if Dustin is only going to give us the stats and stats only, then we're saying that we are going with stats only. No, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay. If we want to go stats only, I'm okay. But what is the barometer of what we're talking about?
Really quick, Dustin. Pride, I saw you look at your imaginary watch before this started. What time was it when this conversation originally started?
What time is it now? It's a bullshit o'clock because that's all I'm hearing right now.
No, but for real, this is a real question. No, Pride. And stat guy. Pride and stat guy. This is a legitimate question. And because I want to understand where Dustin's going to go with this. Hold on. I want to understand where Dustin's going with this and what stat is trying to, and what Pride is trying to say. I got to understand when we talk about teams, what are we looking at? Are we looking at strictly stats? Are we looking at stats and intangibles? Because if the stat guy is going to give us the stats, then somebody needs to give us the intangibles. Or we just say it strictly stats.
I'm giving you like in-depth stats that kind of shows like the depth of both teams, and then you guys can kind of try to compare who you think would actually win.
And Jay,
by the way, I love stat guy. I want to put that out there. I love stat guy. No, I'm not saying no disrespect. No disrespect. Go ahead.
Jay McLovin, really quick. Who do you got at 3 all time?
In terms of players?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, Kareem. No doubt about it.
Here's my thing. You just said, you got to base it off stats, but you can't if it's a certain.
No. I got Kareem at number 3 because what Kareem did with Milwaukee was amazing. Then he goes over to LA and becomes more amazing. Wait, hold on now. And he developed the sky hook, which players today still use. So it means his game is still relevant. Kareem is an amazing guy. And I will say this. I said Kareem is 3A, and I said Wilt Chamberlain is 3B.
Another guy with weird stats. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Your TED Talk sucks.
Jay, you just realized. You didn't realize? Oh, and it's kind of funny because that's actually what I was going for. Swear to God. Like, I'm like, no lie, no one was saying nothing. I was about to scream, it's clobbering time.
It's clobbering time.
I was letting him finish. Like, I was gonna be like, and then I was gonna go and turn my back and just look at the green screen and just like have the thing. I'm gonna get a shirt that just says best in the world. I'm gonna get one of CM Punk's old shirt.
Hey, so Damien, I appreciate you for showing another Chicago legend love. You're just legendary.
I don't hate Chicago. It's just y'all get butthurt when someone criticizes Chicago. Y'all mad sensitive. Y'all mad sensitive. If y'all criticize Larry Bird, I'll hear you out and see if you're coming from a good place. If you're gonna say, oh yeah, he don't play defense, well, no, duh. He always guarded the worst defender. So or the worst offensive threat. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend.
Nobody better not ever talk about Larry Legend.
You feel me? Like if y'all
guy.
criticize, I'm willing to hear you out. My son, on the other hand, he don't want no Larry slander, but I'm willing to hear it out. I'm willing to entertain it to see where y'all coming from. Well, come on.
But let me say, the reason why this argument is so hard to have is because players are different, defense is different, teams are different, the game is different. Everything is so different that you really can't make a true comparison amongst it. You just can't make that same comparison. It's too hard and it's too difficult.
Right. Because we all know Michael will win anyway.
Farrell said, I think what a lot of people are missing when you try to compare the early 90s to now is that in the 90s you only had one player who could drop 30.
But you didn't say that because back in the day, the 3-point wasn't really what the 3-point is now. Not that they couldn't shoot it. Not that they couldn't shoot it.
Time out. Let me dispel that myth right now. Because
it's not a myth, it's a fact.
It's a myth because they tried
to fact.
They tried to make it more popping for MJ because he was so trash. They moved the lineup for him, brother.
So here are the numbers.
Okay, so Larry Legend, if we all know about, you gonna tell me that if he shot the same amount of 3-pointers as what Steph does a night, that Larry Legend would be in that conversation?
No, but not because the 3-point wasn't favored, as it was a slower pace. You go read me the scores of back in the day, compare those things to now.
Oh, I agree. Because it was a lot different. There had
it was a different defensive game in the back.
Everything was different.
Yeah. So here are the numbers. Here are the numbers from the two teams.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Bulls won 72 games. Warriors won 73.
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls' average margin of victory was 13.2 points. They scored 105 points offensively, allowed 93 points defensively. So they were the much better defensive team. Warriors' average margin of victory, 13.5 points. So they had a better margin of victory than Chicago did, barely, but a little better. Offensively, the Warriors averaged 115 points. They allowed 101. Yes, defensively, they weren't as good, but allowing 101 points in today's game is the equivalent of allowing 92 points in the 90s version, just because offensively teams weren't as gifted as they are now back in the 90s. Looking at overall shooting percentage, the Warriors as a team shot 48.7%. The Bulls shot 47.8% as a team. Golden State had 0 players under 45% shooting. Chicago had 2. Defensively, Golden State allowed their opponents to shoot 43.4%. The Bulls' opponent shot 44.9%. So Golden State had a better defensive unit there. 3-point shooting. Golden State shot 42.6% as a team. Chicago shot 39.3. 3-pointers allowed. Chicago allowed their opponents to shoot 38% from beyond the arc. Golden State allowed their opponents to shoot 33% from beyond the arc. And then the free throw shooting kind of doesn't matter, but if you look at all the numbers, Golden State had a better shooting percentage.
No, it matters. What was the free throw shooting, Dustin?
Golden State shot 76.7%. The Bulls shot 74%.
So Golden State is okay.
Golden State.
Okay. And here's my point. Okay, so and that just proves my point. So what we're saying is, So we're
Golden
saying
State's better.
No. I'm just want to understand.
Golden
Hold
State's
on. I want clear
You
understanding.
said Golden State at 4.
So numbers matter. Numbers are the only thing that matter.
They make MJ
But
quit
I just
again.
want to know. I mean,
Okay.
it's just I get it.
No, wait,
I do,
Jay
I get
McLovin,
it, I
Jay
get it.
McLovin, pride. You leave that man alone. His father got murdered.
All I'm
My-
saying
my
is
dad-
Give me a minute.
not too hard.
Wait, hold on. Wait. My dad got murdered.
No, we talking
No,
about
not
leave
you.
Mike
Right.
alone.
Oh my God.
I'd
We
say
talking about leave Mike alone.
Michael.
this man's father was left in a river. Give him a minute.
Hold on, no, time out.
Oh, yeah, that's
Hold on,
true.
time out. I understand that about his father, and I'm not. That's fine. I get it.
And pride, really quick.
However,
really quick. Where was he during those 2 years? Where was he? Oh, Major League Baseball. Okay.
Yeah, he's fine.
Baseball, but basketball was too hard for him.
Shit.
The game got too
baseball-
hard.
You talking about the same game? He came back to it, won 3 rings. You talking about the same game he came back to it, won 3 rings in?
I
That
think he
game
just
was
got
too
bored
hard
with
for him.
basketball.
Team. The same team that was a blown away from that, bro. It was a blown away from the Eastern Conference Finals.
Pride, it's just official. You're a Jordan hater because
Hakeem wins
Hold on,
0
time out.
rings.
because the fact of you using Jordan's name and you using his name and the word trash in the same
Whoa, who said he was trash?
you just said it.
When did I say he was trash?
You
You
just
said he
said
couldn't
it.
handle the league.
I said the game got too hard.
You was like,
I don't think it got too
He
hard.
needed
for
a
him. I think
mental
he just
I
got
said
break.
trash.
bored.
I said the game got too hard for him, and he
I
went
think he
home.
just got bored. I don't think it got too hard. I
Now
think he got
before that
bored
you
with
called him
basketball.
trash.
I never called Michael Jordan trash.
All right, I just
I
want to
think
make
he had
sure.
a gambling problem and he was forced to leave, but that's just me.
He
I just
wasn't
want to make
forced
sure,
to, bro.
Pride, because I like that.
That's
That
part of it too.
that hate
That's part of
slander,
it too,
man.
I think he got. I think what
That's part
Mike
of
said.
it too.
I think the gambling problem was part of it, but I also think he got bored with basketball because there wasn't too many teams that had the amount of success the Bulls had during that run. And I think he just got to the point where he was bored, where it's like, am I going to come out here and win every single year, or is somebody going to like be able to knock us off? And I'm like, I think he just got to the point where like, I'm bored. I want to try something else. And then when he realized he couldn't cut it in baseball, he's like, well, let's just go back to basketball now.
I just go
Baseball,
back
If he
in.
didn't take those
Baseball,
2
he was
years
trash.
off, they
That
would
used
have
to be
won
insane.
all 8 championships.
Oh, hey, tell them again.
They would have
Griff.
won
The
all.
people
They would have
in the
won
back.
all
All right,
8.
all right. Hold on. No, so hold
They
on,
would have
Greg.
beat
So
them
hold on,
Houston
Greg.
teams.
No, I'm still stuck on the fact that Golden State is better than Chicago.
let me
Is
ask
that
you
what we're
a
saying?
question.
Is that what you're
Hold
saying?
on, Greg.
I haven't even left that conversation yet. Pride
If you look-
said that Golden
if you
State
look
was better
directly
than
at the-
Chicago. No,
if
wait
you
a
look
minute.
directly at the
Yeah,
numbers,
but I'm
Greg,
old. And I'm
Greg,
behind the
let me ask you something,
conversation.
Greg.
But I want to
Let me
understand how the hell is
Greg,
Golden
Greg.
State better than
I'm
Chicago?
very
Can
curious
somebody
about
please
something
tell me
you
that?
just
I'm
said.
still
You
trying to
just said
understand
that MJ
that
would have
fact.
won 8 straight. That's what you
8
said.
straight.
Right?
8
What
on.
is it?
Okay, so if
Now,
if we're
wait a
going by
minute
that
now. Y'all didn't
logic,
even answer the question.
listen,
Jay,
in
if
the
you
finals,
look
in
directly
those
at the
same
numbers, Golden
finals that
State's better.
LeBron shrank, let's be fair, he shot over 50%.
You're all
from the
about
field.
numbers.
So let's give him 5 more shots. Let's bring his average up to about 25. Then he would have beaten Dallas. Let's give him that ring. And then when he went back to Cleveland, Kyrie and Kevin Love was
I ain't
hurt.
giving him that Dallas
You
ring.
know, we're going to give him that ring too because, you know, let's be fair. If it was healthy, he would have won.
No,
Okay.
Pride, you going about it the wrong way. You can't take away L's and say it if he
And
would
then
have won.
last year, because of the
What kind of-
injury,
what are-
he
this
could
is-
have
this is
repeated as
ludicrous.
a champion.
This is
So let's give him
ludicrous.
another ring. Do you see how ridiculous that sounds?
But
Pride, you're
then, if
canceled.
I say Ray Allen and Kyrie saved LeBron's legacy, I'm looked at as crazy. But
You are
did.
because
did.
I'm gonna tell you why.
You
And I'm gonna tell you why.
did.
Okay, and I've been
Saved
consistent
his
with
legacy.
2 phenomenal clutch shots by both guys.
Yes.
Ray Allen, phenomenal clutch shot. What you're forgetting but about
The most clutch shot in
LeBron
NBA
bricked that
Finals
3.
history.
I get it. LeBron bricked that 3. But do you know why why did he have the confidence to brick that 3? Oh yeah, because he
was
by
hot.
himself went on a 16
He was hot.
run.
He was hot that
He
game.
was
He was out that
You're leaving
game.
that-
Oh,
and-
Brown.
and hold on,
He
because
was.
you're acting like that shot from Ray Allen ended the series. No, it didn't. Because he still had
Overtime.
one more game, which LeBron dominated to the point they were calling him Pops. So boop, that's his spell. Now let's go back to the whole Kyrie Irving thing. Again, clutch shot. Without the block, guess what? You need that 3. You need a stop and another bucket. And before that, didn't Bron hit a shot before that?
Hey,
Not that I'm talking too much.
In
Pride
game
doing too
6,
much.
they both went for 41.
All I'm saying,
Okay.
I don't think it's fair to say that they saved his legacy.
Guess
Now,
what though?
2 clutch shots,
They still would have went 8 straight.
no debate. No debate.
The Bulls still
I'm
would have
not
won.
trying
Oh
to
yeah,
say-
hey,
Yeah, they would have won 8 straight.
The
Hakeem
Bulls still
though,
would have won
Hakeem
8 straight
took full
prime.
advantage of that
There's
shit.
no doubt about that.
You said what?
They would've-
Olajuwon took them bogus ass teams to the finals while Michael was gone, and he took full advantage, bro. There was
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
else.
But
Hakeem.
There was
My name
nobody
is
else in the
Hakeem.
league, and that's where I always give Bron his credit and his flowers is because you lost 6 finals, and that's cool. But the reason you lost 6 finals is because there was legitimately 6 other teams in the league that were serious contenders at that time, and that's just in the finals alone. Like Michael, they were cakewalks, and the big part of why they were cakewalks was strictly because of how good that Bulls team was, and I'll give them that credit. But when I look at Malone and Stockton and all these other guys, outside of those two, especially for Utah, there really wasn't else shit going on over there. And then you look at other teams like that young team.
No. I guess we forgot about Hornacek. I guess
Jeff Hornacek was good.
I guess Hornacek never
Hey,
played.
Jay McLovin, let me ask you something.
You're right, Mike. I forgot. Hornacek was never in existence.
Man, I can't wait for this.
In the NBA world. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I guess
Jay
I forgot
McLovin,
about
how
it.
many times have you ever been sitting in a room, right? You got a J in your hand, you got a beer, all the boys are just kicking it, and someone just randomly brings up, hey, do you guys remember Hornacek? I've never once in my life.
And Mike, the fact that you say that means that you don't even know the contributions that Hornacek gave. You're right. My bad.
I'm just saying, bro. Like,
Now, what are you saying, Mike? Mike, what are you
Mike,
really saying, Mike?
I'm about to come in.
What are you really saying?
He wasn't like that, bro.
And well, you saved me early, and I didn't need no help. So I'm gonna return the favor. Ready here? The funny part: how many times have we had this argument about the Chicago Bulls being the greatest team of all time with Jay McLovin? It's been a handful of times, correct?
Yeah.
How many times have we brought up the Utah Jazz? Every single time, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He's so desperate and aggressive with y'all. This is the first time he mentioned Hornacek. Let's move on. There's one more topic I want to get into. One more. My bad. I'm immature, and we gotta wrap this up because my girl's.
I'm just saying you can all go to hell.
That's I'll see you there, brother. I'll see you there, cuz.
But hashtag. Hashtag though. Hashtag I love pride. And hashtag I love victory.
Listen, I'm gonna see
I'm
you.
gonna give him before his gun wave.
Because I'm gonna say this right now. For the things I've done, I'm gonna go to hell. But there's a special place for thinking Mike would have won 8 straight. There's a special place for people like you. So
No.
why?
I'll be there. I'll be there too. I'll be there too.
Hey, me, Rob, and Vladdy Daddy, we gonna be there sitting together.
Bye.
Yes,
You know who gonna be with me? Bron. You wanna know why? Because he gonna do a rescue mission. And me and Bron, we gonna be up in the pearly gates chilling with God, dapping him up. Like, hey, yo, what's up? Meanwhile, Mike gonna be like, oh, it's hot in here with his ball self.
And you know what? And then as soon as Brian walked through the pearly gates, he's gonna get booed like he did last night.
And
and
right here for the part, you wonder why they gonna be saying boo? They ain't gonna be saying boo. They gonna be like, hey boo, hey boo. That's how they gonna be calling him boo.
They gonna be walking away.
If LeBron goes to hell,
matter of fact, let's continue the bull slander. Because the horrible Chicago Bulls, they had the number 1 seed for a whole whopping couple days, could not handle the pressure. They choked, losing by 6. Get out of here. Y'all said it was 3, it was 6. I try to let y'all be nice.
I mean, you gotta watch the game, but yeah.
You said what?
I mean, when you watch the game, it's 3 and then it's fouls on purpose, but you know.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Hey,
What's the
final score? Than 3.
What's the final score?
I mean, you could say what you want.
116 and 110, right? So 110 plus 3, what is that? 113.
Didn't your team lose to Indiana?
You said what?
Didn't your team lose to Indiana horribly? Like got blew out?
Didn't you lose to Bulls?
I don't want to hear nothing.
We're not talking about
Rob, to your point right now, though, I tell you who's loving that trade is the Indiana Pacers because Tyrese Halliburton is balling out with Indiana.
Yes, he is. And he balled out.
Tyrese Halliburton has just become the best player on that Indiana team.
And
he balled out on Boston.
It's not even close.
And that's the sad part.
He's low-key starting to become the best player involved in that trade.
And and he was a third option in Sacramento behind De'Aaron Fox and some other and Bagley. Even Bagley was getting more touches than Halliburton. All of a sudden, Halliburton goes to Indiana, and they're like, "Where was this in Sacramento? This is what we got."
It's weird because his jump shot looks weird, and I wanted him to change it, but he don't miss. Like he's good.
Yeah, I love Halliburton.
He's good. Like
it's like, you know what, homie, you can have Alonzo Ball shot back into the league. I don't even care, bro.
If you're making it, what does it matter? Look at Sean Marion's shot, for God's sake. Sean Marion's
Oh, yeah,
shot
the
was so
ugliest shot.
pathetically terrible, and he
Oh,
still shot
man.
40%.
It is
from
by
deep.
far one of the
Sean Marion
ugliest
shot
ones.
like a gym teacher.
And he still shot 40%.
He was ripping it.
Well, that
It
shot was
like,
ugly.
and it was funny because y'all watch Family Guy, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So y'all remember the episode when they were trying to get Cleveland back and they were playing on that basketball game, and it was the glitch where it's like corner three, and he just never misses. That was Sean Marion. Every time he get the ball, corner three, and he would just do a chest pass to the rim, and it was just
Hey, but the messed up part was he used to hit them joints.
Yeah, it'll be
like
hitting it.
crazy.
He used to smack them joints. I used to be like, "Are you kidding me?" And you know what? I used to play with Phoenix on 2K, so I used to kill people with Sean Marion.
His jump shot was by far the easiest.
Hey, but the Matrix though, boy. Hey, don't let Sean Marion act a fool now.
No, and it was funny because like the thing is like usually when your guy is hot, you feel dumb, right? When your guy has that jump shot, you're
And he
like,
hot.
hey, yo, release me. You're like, yeah, bro, cut me, man.
The funny thing is, like, how did people not block that shot? Because he would shoot it from his waist and like flip it up there. Like, how did
But
nobody
he
just put
shot
their
at
hand
Steph
up like this
Curry
and block
quick.
Quicker.
And he used to be like, and it was gone.
To me, it was just like I got it. Oh, I got it. Ooh, there we go.
Didn't he shoot with two hands?
Yes. I called it a chest pass to the rim because that's the only way I can describe it. It was like how to shoot. It's like
Oh,
chest pass to the rim.
God.
And it was just, and I was just like, you know what, bro, you got it.
Yeah, he
But,
definitely goes down as the ugliest jumper in God's green history.
100%. And you want to know what's even uglier? This horrible Chicago Bulls team that
Oh
does
my
not
God.
know how to keep a number one seed. Like, it's
Oh,
not
God.
they gagging away. You know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been ASAP in the morning.
No. Listen, man, you don't disrespect me. We gonna keep the
Fry,
slander rolling.
if you slander my Bulls, I'm not coming back on this show again. So that's gonna fall on you.
For real.
Yes, for real.
Sabbaticals all around.
It's a bad.
Zach Levine.
I just got back and I'll go back on vacation.
Bye. So as I was saying, Zach Levine came back, gave you 20 points. If he gave you a little more, y'all could have won.
Levine had 28. The Rosen had 31.
And guess what? John Morant had 46.
Exactly. You
Hey,
take
Best
but-
player on that
exactly.
Best player
That's
on that
why they
court.
lost.
by
Hey,
far,
hey,
and then some.
I won't lie though, man. John Morant gives
No.
me those D
No,
Rose
no.
vibes,
Let's
man.
talk
Yeah,
about
he
the
is
horrible
like Derrick
Chicago
Rose.
Bulls.
That man can
That's why
play,
the Bulls
bro.
lost.
Derrick
Yeah.
Rose,
No.
Derrick Rose with a better
He's great.
shot. That's
Yeah,
just,
Yeah,
that's why-
man.
that's- that's why
John
the Bulls
Morant
lost.
is
Hold on,
crazy
nah.
athletic,
Nah,
dude.
Can I be honest? Can I be honest? Maybe it's just me. I think at this point, us comparing him to Derrick Rose is disrespectful to John Morant. I think we're starting to get on that road.
Nah, bro, he got to still win the MVP first,
continues
bro.
on this.
Like,
You got to
the way I
win
look
the
at John
MVP
Morant
first. What you mean is disrespectful?
is though I
You
think
know
by
who Derrick Rose was before he got hurt, bro?
yeah, he was. Again, I remember who he was.
Miami had to put a big three together to beat that man, bro.
That's true.
He almost single-handedly beat them by himself.
They would have
Come
went.
on,
Right.
bro.
I'm
Don't-
gonna
Right.
go.
don't
Hey,
remember
Rob,
Derrick
you know
Rose,
I
bro.
love you, Rob.
Pride, you
Pride,
can
No,
attest to
and
this.
this right here is where it's over. This
Don't
right here
act
is where
like
it's over.
Derrick Rose wasn't that
Pride, you
dude,
can
bro.
attest to this.
He's
You can attest to
not.
this.
He's
Derrick Rose was
not.
that dude, bro.
They got
The
Right.
youngest
Derrick
MVP, bro.
Rose is the. I swear to God, I don't know who gets more mileage out of an achievement. Derrick Rose in that one MVP that he never deserved, and everyone in their mind.
You say he didn't deserve. All right, y'all. I'm
Paul-
gone, bro. I'm out. I'm
Pierce.
out, bro.
All
Hey,
right, all right,
Pride,
Rob.
man, it's been
I don't know who
love,
gets more
bro.
mileage. Derrick Rose that MVP or Paul Pierce with that finals. I don't know who gets more mileage. Like, I don't know who's able to squeeze it out more and drag
Right.
it out more.
Are
I
you
don't
really
know who
saying
does it
Derrick
more,
Rose wasn't that dude?
But we need to stop. Not
Pride,
to you
I
saying
think-
that.
Pride, here's how I look at it.
Y'all making him seem
It's
like
a little different for me though, Pride. When you look at it, and Dustin's my stat guy, and he can tell me where I'm wrong. It's Boston's big three and arguably a big four, and then you have over here you have Miami making a big three, and still in the conversation is Derrick Rose by himself, and there's still that conversation of they might be able to come out of the East, and that was the Derrick Rose effect, and I think
It
right
was.
now, I've spoken with Randy, I've spoken with DB, I've spoken with Jim, Pride's favorite person, and so many other people. and Ja already has had a better team in 2 years
Oh my God!
than Derek ever had.
Pride, you can attest
Who
to this.
was Derrick Rose?
No,
He had Carlos Boozer and
That is a
Joe
better
He
King.
was still
Come on,
viable, bro. Y'all pretended Carlos Boozer was trash.
He was
like Utah
trash.
Boozer.
He wasn't hey, we didn't get Utah Boozer.
No,
we
no,
got,
he wasn't playing
we
like he
got
was
get
at
him,
Utah.
Joe.
We don't
We
got
that
hey,
Carlos
Thank you,
Boozer.
thank
Come
you,
on, bro.
thank you. He was not all that. Thank you.
Hey, but here's the
That's
thing.
all
Here's
I'm
the thing,
saying.
Rob. This is my
And I'm
favorite
not
part.
saying he's trash.
This is my
I'm not
favorite
saying
part.
he's trash. But
It's
this mythical platform y'all put on him, like y'all need to stop.
hey,
Y'all really do.
but pride. It's the same thing, and I say this the same reason with Bron right now. Everybody loves trashing Bron because he's in a shitty situation. But when Bron's on top, when Rose was on top, nobody had shit to say. Not a single person wanted smoke, and that's the reality. Now, when they have injuries, everybody want to talk. Everybody want to say that shit wasn't what it was, but it was like that, bro.
Pride,
Nobody wanted to see Derrick
Yeah,
Rose.
Derrick Rose was a problem.
Pride, this is for you.
He was a problem.
Pride, this is
For
you
his
because you're
team,
a Celtics
100%.
fan.
Stop playing, man.
Okay.
And look, D Rose could hoop. Don't get it twisted. He could hoop. You feel me? But this mythical pedestal y'all put him on, y'all gotta knock it off. Y'all gotta knock off that mythical pedestal y'all put him on.
I can't believe this, Pride. Pride, I thought you was my boy.
No, we not boys no more. Once you put
There's no love. There's no love on the show anymore. It's all gone.
Pride, I'm gonna come after you.
And listen, bro. And here's the thing.
No, I'm trying to tell you something. I'm gonna come after you.
Yeah.
When, you can attest to this being a Boston Celtics fan. But when did Derrick Rose become relevant? It was the year that the Bulls and Celtics gave everyone the greatest playoff series in NBA history.
Yes, Lord.
Every single game went to overtime. That's when Derrick Rose said, "I'm going to be the MVP next year."
Yes,
granted, he may have not deserved it. I agree.
That was his coming out.
The numbers were not MVP numbers if you look at the MVPs of today. But back then, the numbers that he put up back then were still MVP numbers for a point guard.
I agree.
And that's the main reason that he got it was because he was a point guard putting up the numbers he put up.
For a point guard.
That ran his team.
More specifically, LeBron, who was putting up better numbers. And
what he did against the Celtics.
First in the East, though.
What he did against the Celtics in that series is what put him on the map.
Stop playing.
What he did against the Celtics, big three, that series
is
what put him on the map.
He had a better team.
Come on, Brian. Stop acting like you don't know the truth, bro.
Bro, no.
Listen to the kids, bro. You heard what Kanye said. Listen to the kids, bro.
No.
The crazy thing, to Pride's point too, the craziest part is the Bulls actually swept the Miami Heat in the regular season. And Miami was ready, bro. Miami wanted smoke, bro.
And it's not even that, Mike. Look at game one of that series. The Bulls won 117-79 in game one of that series, and everyone said the Bulls were going to walk over Miami because they went 4-0 against them during the regular season. Then they go and beat them by 30 the first game of the NBA or the Eastern Conference Finals. Bulls never won another game in those.
LeBron made that goddamn face he always makes when he's.
LeBron went into that locker room and said, "Dwayne Wade, you better not make me move."
If I remember right, the last 4 games of the Eastern Conference Finals, the Bulls led for a total of 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Not only did Miami say enough is enough, but they just basically said Derrick Rose is not going to beat us.
Yeah, they put LeBron James on him. Yep. They put a 6'9", 260-pound guy on the point guard
on their primary ball handler.
As they should.
Yes.
And you feel okay with that prime?
So that's the primary ball handler. You're gonna put your best defensive player on the primary ball
handler.
I'm not.
And guess what? Rose was still giving them the
right decision to make.
Rose was still giving them the business
because the Bulls' number 2 scorer in the playoffs was supposed to be Carlos Boozer. That's why they brought him there. They brought him there to be the number 2 scorer behind Derrick Rose. Does anybody remember who the Bulls' number 2 scorer was in that series? More specifically, Rob and Mike. Do you remember who the Bulls' number 2 scorer was in that Eastern Conference Finals?
It was
Benny Boy, wasn't it?
No.
Was it Ronnie
on the team that year?
Oh, Noah? Joakim Noah?
No, it was Taj Gibson. Taj Gibson averaged 14 points a game. He was the number 2 scorer behind Derrick Rose, who averaged 16. Boozer averaged 9 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Noah averaged 10, and Keith Bogans, who was the Bulls' shooting guard, averaged 7.
That was our shooting guard, dude.
So hold on.
Keith
So
Bogus.
Derrick Rose averaged
Lord
16.
Jesus.
That's all.
Derrick Rose
That's all
averaged
Pride heard.
16 points the final 4 games against Miami.
16.
The final 4 games against Miami, he averaged 16 points in the Eastern Conference
Finals.
Finals.
16. Tosh Gibson averaged 14.
Yep.
Yet Taj is trash, and D Rose gets a pass.
He was being guarded by LeBron James.
LeBron James.
The
Consistency
best
is the name of the game.
defender.
Consistency is the name of the game. No, again,
Okay, Brian, you go score on a 6'9" dude and be only 6'2", 6'3". Come on, bro.
Hold on. Wasn't he the most?
And he didn't have no help.
He was supposed to.
help.
And
He
now
didn't have no
He didn't
help.
have no help.
Luol Deng got hurt in that series.
He didn't have no help.
I will never in my life understand the inconsistency.
Luol Deng got hurt in that series.
He gets no help, but then LeBron. Oh, LeBron's that guy. He needs to get it done.
No. I don't even look at that first Spurs loss against LeBron as a real loss. He didn't have nobody. He took a bunch of bombs to the finals. But there's no excuse when you playing with Miami and you lose to Dallas. He had all the help and he still lost. So I don't want to hear that, Pride. You almost made me turn to Stephen A on here.
Goodbye.
Blasphemy. This is blasphemy.
Like what?
This will come out your mouth, Pride. I can't believe
Pride, wait, really quick, to get back into
put him on that pedestal is the people who unfortunately want to be our Chicago Bulls fans who wants to hope, pray, and say, oh yeah, he's great. He's the greatest since sliced bread. He's the greatest since MJ. Nope. You don't deserve to be on that pedestal. I don't care what no one says.
That man scored 51 playing with the Timberwolves, bro. Remember that. Remember that. You better put some respect on Derrick Rose, man.
He was past.
He put 51 playing with the Timberwolves, boy.
Yep, and he was so
Put
great.
some respect on it.
He was so
Put
great.
some respect on it.
I was so drunk that night. I remember it. 2018 Halloween.
Woo!
Man.
I almost cried with him.
Man, I was channeling my inner Jay McLovin, bro. I was Jay McLovin in his prime. I was living my best
I
life.
almost cried with him. For that man to go through all them knee surgeries, to be missing games and to come back and to show people why I was the MVP of the league.
I thought we weren't giving out participation awards.
Huh?
I thought we weren't giving out participation.
Huh? He said, huh?
He said, what?
Come on, bro.
He didn't participate. He scored 51. That's all.
Holla at me what he did before and after.
Oh, he didn't do nothing.
Your mama.
Let's say he quote did my mama. Guess what? He couldn't finish. Just like he couldn't finish in the playoffs and he was at his best.
Wow.
Stop playing. And I mean that 100% with all due disrespect. I don't care, bro. Look here. I got into a car accident. One day I'll show you the pictures. I didn't have my seatbelt on. I almost done died and I broke my back. And you ready to hear the funny part? My back will be able to withstand more than his knees. Get out of here.
Hey, that's sensitive. Don't come at that man knees.
Guess what? I'm gonna hit him low. I'm not even gonna hit him.
Messed up, right?
I'm gonna hit him behind his knees because he can't handle it. Because every time he gets hit back there, guess what? He down for 2 weeks. Y'all talk about Anthony Davis.
You can't hit him no lower than
Here's my thing. I will defend that because Rob, I was asked that last week on the show how I can go so hard on Anthony Davis and not on Derrick Rose. Let me tell you something.
And by the way, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, just understand. Watch Mike do a complete 180.
Not at all. I keep it real. As if someone who heard, I've been hurt, God knows how many times playing sports. But guess what? The thing with Derrick, a torn meniscus, a torn MCL, a torn ACL. It's not a sprained coochie. It's not my ankle hurts. It's not, there's no tear with Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis messed up his MCL and ACL as well. But try again.
I have soreness in my ankles and I can't play for 6 months.
That's not why he's out, but go ahead.
Why is he out?
He has a sprained foot.
Bro, his knee was messed up.
Oh, no, but right now he's out because of a sprained foot.
Have y'all ever had a sprained foot?
Yeah. I had a
the mere fact I said,
I've had a sprained foot.
Yo, Greg, they stubbed their toe and self-diagnosed themselves. Oh, I'm out.
I'm just saying.
Hey, doing that is hard enough.
Stuff on my shit.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's funny. They make jokes about Anthony Davis, yet D Rose, who when he gets off, he's off. As soon as he gets off the bus, he needs a walker.
You know, you want to talk about Anthony Davis? Let's talk about what he said last night.
What did he say last night?
The only other team he'd want to play for right now is
The
Chicago.
Bulls.
Hold on. Time out. Don't brag on that because on Facebook you said, "No, we're good," and Rob said he
And we
want
are
him.
good.
So don't
I
brag
don't
on
want
him.
Good.
I don't want him
Great.
Oh,
don't
no,
want
brag
him.
about it. But hold on. Why you want to brag about it then?
But why he want to leave, Pride?
because he want to come back home.
Why he want to leave?
No. If he were to leave LA, if they were to trade him, he would say he would go there.
But why would you say that?
Why else? They were asking him about it. He's been involved in trade rumors. He's gonna address it. The same
Man,
thing with Russell Wilson.
Pride just
He
hurt
don't say
because
nothing until his
LeBron's
name is
team
brought up
is
in it, and
trash
he goes,
this
"Well,
year.
if y'all want my God on his truth, see, it's the crazy
Listen,
part.
bro,
Y'all
I'll
bet
tell you
at
what.
least to be honest. Then when it's honest, why would he say that?
I'll tell you what, Pride. I'll take Bronny if you give me Bron. All right? I'll take Bronny. I'll take Bronny first pick overall. You just come to the dark side with me and Rob, bro.
Braun cannot
Ready
step
for the part,
foot
ready
in
for
the
the part.
United States.
Bron would never.
Hey,
sell
I ain't gonna lie.
the-
If
That's
Bron
right.
came to Chicago,
That is
Pride
crazy,
probably
Pride.
wouldn't even be a LeBron fan anymore.
Yeah, y'all gonna make me a Chicago hater by the end of the episode. And just last week, I was saying, man, the Chicago team is good. I'm about to start slandering y'all good name.
You can't.
Oh,
We got the
Why you
chosen
so
one.
slandering that good name?
We have DeMar the Chosen. There's
Hold
no
on,
way
you said,
you
hold on,
can
hold on.
do
You
it.
said DeMar DeRozan?
DeMar the Chosen.
Yeah, pretty soon you're gonna be DeMar Frozen head ass, boy.
No, you already. Hey, I'm sorry, LeBron already has that name.
Come on, bro. You said, who
The
got that name? You
Frozen
said
one.
LeBron?
Chosen one turned to
Oh,
the frozen
the
one.
same
The
LeBron who
chosen
beat
one
your
turned
man.
to the
Hold on.
frozen.
The same
Frozen
man
one.
that had your man
That's
spooked.
Skip Bayless.
Hold on. The same man that got your man spooked.
Hey,
Come on, your chances to win is looking shaky.
the
baby.
same man that just got booed last night by his own state.
Uh-oh.
And hold on. And how many times DeMar
Uh-oh.
DeRozan done get booed too?
Hey,
Uh-oh.
hey,
Matter of fact, his entire tenure with the Spurs has been nothing but boos.
he can't get no lower than that.
They said 2 B words to DeMar DeRozan. Booze, and the other one rhymes with itch.
Damn. Hey, why you coming at that man DeRozan? You know he's from Compton, right?
Oh
Listen,
my
listen,
god.
if you want to say, go ahead. Oh yeah, bro, he's from Compton. That's fine. But guess what? He went to college. He went up to the 6. And guess what? All the Compton done chilled out of his system because homeboy ain't about it. You feel me?
He about it this year. He about it this year. MVP.
And guess
Girl,
what?
MVP.
And bro, he can win MVP, bro, and he'll be most valuable piece. So you know what? Because I'm telling y'all right now, y'all making me a Chicago Bulls hater.
Why?
And I tried to be
Why?
nice. I really do. But when
You
y'all
didn't beat your
slander
team
the Boston
47-3.
Celtics- Hold on, Robert. You've been slandering the Boston
Oh,
Celtics.
47-0, wasn't it?
See? The New England Patriots
I'm just
slandering
saying.
LeBron James.
Hey, I never said nothing.
But guess what, Mike? Guess what? Affiliation, because you laughed. You encouraged me. You went, I'm not dumb. I heard it. I saw you, Mike. You're not joking, Mike. I saw it.
You
Stop
ain't
playing
seen
with me.
nothing, bro. You ain't
Hey,
seen nothing.
hey, Pride.
What, Robert?
We
Don't-
got
hey,
love. We
Pride,
got
don't
love
admit-
for
Don't
Boston.
admit to being a witness.
We
now.
got love for Boston, man. Don't do that. I ain't
You ain't got
hating
no
on
love for
y'all.
Boston. You ain't got
I
no
got
love
love
for
for
Boston.
Boston, and this is my daughter. My
Nah.
daughter.
Nah,
mother.
you good. Nah, you good. You good. Stay over there. Stay over there. Stay over there. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because, matter of fact, when's the next time Boston? Matter of fact, I cannot wait.
Oh, if the Boston Celtics play Chicago Bulls, blowout.
That's a
Blowout.
100%. That's a blowout. It's a
Blowout.
blowout. What? Of course. It's a blowout. We gonna make Chicago look a playing team.
I don't know
Tatum,
about that one.
Tatum, Brown.
Oh, okay.
Do that.
Wednesday, April 6th
I'll see you there.
is when they're going to sacrifice. Is when the Chicago Bulls will be that sacrifice.
Hey Rob, you know what he don't know?
What's that?
Who comes back? Like
And right here, funny part, guess
before
what? And it's funny 'cause you know-
Caruso.
Hey, listen.
Lonzo, Patrick Williams,
Lonzo,
Caruso,
and right here, funny
Eric.
part. And Jay, Greg, guess what? It's been a common theme. Coming back and coming out. That's what they've been doing. It's a revolving door over there, bro.
It was
I don't
one
know
time.
what's going
It
on.
was one
Because
time.
for every game healthy, every game that they play healthy, guess what? They are for 2. And they talking about Anthony Davis. Come on, bro. Yo, the Chicago Bulls, that's an infantry right there. AOJ, you were in the military. Guess what? They need patching on field. Go over to Chicago. They need it. They need it. Listen, bro.
Hey, guess what?
That whole roster
Guess what?
can't even play a week.
You
Our
would
guys got hurt one
You
time.
would think we suck as bad as y'all do with all the injuries we have, but guess what? We
Hold on,
don't.
whoa,
We
whoa,
don't.
whoa,
We're
whoa,
still in
hold
the
on.
upper echelon of the Eastern Conference, and
Yo,
where you at?
Rob,
Barely making a play.
Yo, you hear this? You hear this? I'm getting
disrespected like crazy.
They're barely out of the play-in conversation.
Hold on. Skip. We're 2 full games.
Barely out of the play-in. Like I said.
Hold on. And 5 games, guess what?
I don't see you being better than Brooklyn. Brooklyn's going to come back, and they're going to be in the 5th place.
Pride, here's my real thing though. Like what bothers me about Boston, I literally watched Boston body Brooklyn twice in the last week? What was it, Pride? In the last week they bodied Brooklyn twice? And like, hey, that's what's up. And,
no, I don't count those. I don't
Kyrie
count
wasn't
those
there.
because
Yeah,
I think
Kyrie,
only one time we had James.
for sure. And
James only one time I think it was.
But you know,
anything that had him.
They beat the Hawks, they beat the Nuggets, and that's all good and gravy. But then, you know, they get bodied by the Pistons, they get bodied by Indiana. And it's just like, I think they just need, like, in all realism, I don't know if it's a coaching thing or what.
No, we need in my opinion, we need like an on-court veteran that's like a guard.
I wanted them to trade back for Rondo, and I don't know how you feel about that, but
I mean, yes and no. What Rondo we getting? You feel me? Like, is it the Rondo that wants to prove a point?
When y'all brought in Dennis, I was like, it should have been Rondo.
I mean, yes and no. Again, I'm not. Homie, you good?
My boy got
you choking like D Rose right now. You good, homie?
Oh
wow.
He good. My son good.
Mac Jones?
My fault. He got
you mean Mac Jones?
You
mean Jason Tatum?
You mean Jaylen
Brown?
Pride, you have an amazing morning. You are not going to use your child against me, sir. Rob, I'll talk to you. This is
real quick to answer Mike's question. I will say this: I always feel like we do need a legitimate guard, a veteran, true point guard, not just a 2 guard you put at the 1, a true point guard that could commandeer the respect. So when things are going left on the court, you got someone that can rein it in. Like, I always feel like that's something we need, because, again, the point guard we get doesn't need a dude who averages 20. You know what I mean? If you give us 10, that's fine, because we do got 2 bucket getters, now 3 with Derek White. We do got some guys who can get buckets. It's just on the court, like, we do a lot of iso ball, and when that doesn't work, it's like we need to rely on ball movement, and it's nice because we'll do it for 2 plays, but then all of a sudden we get lost, and it's like, oh, wait, hold on. Do we still pass? Like, in terms of on the court, there's no extension of the court, of the coach on the court. So that's kind of where we put ourselves in these weird positions, because in terms of on-the-fly adjustments, you got to remember, when you're honed in on a game, you don't always remember to look at the coach to get updates or whatnot. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of times the coach be screaming and hollering, because when you're so focused in the game, you're just, focused on what's going on in front of you. That's why I think we need an extension of the coach on the floor in terms of like a vet point guard. So that way, when they start having tunnel vision, they can give the ball to the guard, and he could just say, all right, hold on, breathe. Y'all going away from the game plan right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and people keep calling us a young team. We gotta stop with that. Like, we were a young team a few years ago. We're not a young team anymore.
That's
like,
true.
We can't be using that excuse anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and if you don't want to say we're veterans, fine. We're not vets, but we need to find another word, because we're not young. We're not babies anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when Jason Tatum, when he yanned on Braun in the Eastern Conference Finals when he was with Cleveland, yeah, that was when they were youngsters. Bro, we're like, what, 3-4 years removed from that? So it's like, I don't know about y'all. Maybe y'all looking at it different, but I don't know. I can't. We can't call ourselves kids no more. We can't call ourselves a young team anymore, because how can we? We got plenty of experience now. So that's kind of my thing. Like, but
I'm still over you using.
No matter young point guard, old point guard, no point guard. It could be PG, Paul George, Paul. Don't matter. Celtics in 2. I'm a die by those words, because watch what's gonna happen. I'm hyping up the Celtics, and watch us go on another losing streak. Watch, we about to go on a losing streak like crazy, and forget the play. We gonna be out of the play-in, and I'm just gonna be nodding my head like this. And then Rob gonna come at me. Greg gonna be like, "Yo, you remember when you said this?" Jay he gonna want to trigger me, so he definitely gonna be in there. Mike gonna come in. Dustin
Hey,
what did you say?
You still used your kid against us, and that wasn't right.
I didn't mean. Hold on, Naomi, you okay? Oh, okay. Oh, I thought she was okay. It was a sneeze. She was a sneeze. My fault. She good.
That's how
I think she got allergies. Oh yeah, I think you allergic to something about me? Is it the dust?
Here we go. Hey, here we go.
Like the Chicago Bulls in the championship after Michael. Get out of here.
Oh God.
I know.
Now let's get one last shot. And Freddie, if you're watching, the Clippers are better than the Lakers. All right, we can go now.
Freddie is off that bandwagon. He hates LeBron now.
A Lakers fan, but honestly, and here's the thing: tomorrow when Freddie comes on the show, I want to have a legitimate heart-to-heart with him regarding his Lakers. No trolling. It's gonna be so. Greg, don't be saying nothing about Braun now. Don't be saying nothing about Braun. All right, Rob, you too.
I can't make no promises.
You feel me? I want to have a legitimate conversation with Freddie about the Lakers. So don't.
I won't say nothing until you're done making your point.
But, no. Let Freddie say his point. After Freddie says his point, I can post part.
Hey, by the way, the Giants and the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, Freddie, if you're listening, they want their rental gear back. They need their rental gear back, and
they said you're a full-fledged Rams fan now.
Yep, send it back.
Yo, and by the way, Rob, if you down, bro, if you down, I'm doing a watch. I'll do a watch on with that Bulls and Celtics. I'm down.
I would do that. I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
That would actually be pretty freaking good,
right? Because here's the thing, y'all gonna get one or two things, right? You gonna get energetic pride after the Celtics whack somebody 30. You know,
and then you gonna get buckets by the Bulls.
You'll get angry pride, right? And it's because the rest cost us the game, right? You know, it didn't really count. The rest cost.
This is the kind of game that destroys friendships.
Full-fledged war.
This has been ASAP in the morning. We'll be back here tomorrow, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Until then, y'all know what to do. Unlike the Chicago Bears, everyone else, please be safe. Greg, go ahead. You
got it's okay. Don't worry.
I just wanted to say that on this Saturday, I have a new show that's coming on.
Okay.
The ASAP Network called Red Kingdom. It's going to be all Chiefs.
Boo!
Chiefs.
Boo!
Red Kingdom, Saturday, 2 p.m. Central. Shout out to Freddie for making it all happen for me. My co-host, my man RJ, he's gonna do the show with me. So tune in Saturday. Red Kingdom.
We got you, man.
Awesome. Where's it gonna be?
Saturday at 2 p.m.
No, but where?
ASAP. It's gonna be on ASAP.
So it's gonna be on the network?
Yeah, it's gonna be on network. Yes.
Hey, you're still doing the Cowboys thing, right?
Yeah, with Tony.
When is that?
That's that pretty much just goes to when we get news. We do it on YouTube primarily, and we just kind of go out with. We just had our debut show out that last week, but we pretty much as news comes out about the Cowboys, me and Tony kind of do a show. So probably once every 2 weeks. There's no guaranteed day set yet.
Okay, so for all your Cowboys news, obviously, and Frankie, of course, we have to make a New England Patriots show because why wouldn't we do a show of the most illustrious team in the history of the NFL? You feel me? It's a good franchise. It's not like Chicago. You feel me? I mean, who wants to be in Chicago, baby? You feel me? I'd rather be a Chiefs fan.
You guys will no longer be relevant again now that Tom Brady.
Rob, I'll make you a deal right now.
The New England Patriots.
I'll bet you a bottle right here, right now.
Yeah.
We make the playoffs again next year. I'll bet you a bottle. Bears don't got to do nothing. Y'all can go over. Don't matter. I'll bet you a bottle.
I'm not going to bet against.
Hey, I just wanted to pay homage and salute to the Dallas Texans Chiefs. Fan Greg.
Okay.
Hey, from now on, Greg, Hey, Greg, you're gonna be known by the initials DTC, baby. Just DTC it.
I'll be honest, I love it. 110%. I love it. On behalf of all of the fine gentlemen here, and by the way, I want up it. Ready? I bet Mac Jones wins a Super Bowl before the Chicago Bears have a winning record.
Wow. I'll bet that.
Okay, there it is.
We're going to have a winning record next year. Bear down. Bear down. Y'all know what it is. Bear down.
He said,
Hold on. My girl giving me an ill look, but now I got to defend myself.
You better hope you can keep Belichick.
You're the love of my life. I'm gonna marry you. But there's 3 men in this world right now. 4. Damn, I sound like a whore. There's 4 men in this world that I rock with.
He said you were a whore. I called you a whore.
LeBron James, born in Akron, Ohio. By the way, I'm looking at that.
You ain't never been in no Akron, Ohio.
Michael McCorkle Jones. And the man that raised me, the man that led me down a path to find the love of my life, that man, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady.
You're not even from Boston, though. You from Connecticut.
It's New England. Stop. Man, I'm getting close.
You're not even from Richmond.
At least I'm from Chicago.
Richmond.
Yeah, I'm choking on my water.
What Connecticut team I got? Other than UConn, what Connecticut team I got? The Hartford Whalers? What NFL team I got? I'm getting
exposed. You got a Connecticut team.
Hey, wait a minute. Rich what? Richmond. Rich what? Richmond.
New England. See, but it's New England. New England.
Hey, Frankie, stop making excuses from because you probably not from Boston either. You know what?
That's true, Frank. Hey, Frankie's from New York. He's from upstate New York.
Oh.
Frankie, we gotta have a chit chat. Frank, we gotta have a chit chat. You feel me, homie?
The New England Patriots.
He's from upstate. Frankie from upstate New York.
We'll be back tomorrow. Tell you guys know what to do, yo. Be safe.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.